hello everyone. Happy Easter Sunday. It's Drop Frames. It's the final day of March. Some fucking how. Well, now the video is demonetized because I cursed it.
You can beep it out, right, or something.
All right, from the top, back to one, everybody.
Here we go. Okay.
All right, back to one.
I'm actually starting it over. I'm not kidding. No, actually, I can't do it.
Okay.
Well, how the fuck are you, JP?
Oh, God.
Oh no. I'm sorry. That's my B.
Well, Zeke,
I'm ready though. If you want to start from the beginning.
The $3 that this was going to make. Unbelievable. You hit us with these treacherous AI songs at the start of the stream. I can't believe you would do that. Use AI to create music and shit all over real artists.
I think you have like a 3-minute leeway though, and it's been like 2.5 minutes. So as long as we don't say fuck again soon, it should be fine.
He said it.
Yeah. No. I was
just. It's fucking done. Oh, I thought that was Zeke screaming.
I thought it was too. I'm confused.
I was very confused because I was like, wait, his mouth's not moving that much. How is he doing that?
Also, it's my voice, not his. That's weird.
Yeah, that came in later. That was later. Yeah. Anyways,
my voice coming out of his mouth.
That's correct. Hello, hi. It's Easter Sunday. Like I said, the show will be a little bit shorter than usual. We'll probably dip out about 30 minutes. People got family stuff to do. And then in terms of actually posting the VOD,
I'm people.
He's people.
It's me.
That guy over there. He's people. In terms of actually posting the VOD, editor is also doing family stuff, so it might be a little bit later than like 40 minutes after the show airs. So I don't know why this pertains to people that are going to watch the VOD because you haven't heard this yet.
Yeah, that are here right now.
Yeah, that message is kind of meaningless.
Anyway, that's like when I know you two do it too. I know you do.
Let's hear it.
Or you'll look over in chat and you'll see somebody say, "That's weird. The stream isn't starting for me," and then you read that and reply to them on stream.
Yeah.
I do that all the time. I
yeah.
can't stop.
It happens.
It's like when the waiter tells you to enjoy your food and you say "you too."
Yep.
It's just like, damn it.
I hate that.
Why?
Well, I don't know if you guys. I don't know if you guys do closed captions, but I'm just hoping they have their closed captions on, and maybe it'll come through. Oh, the stream isn't starting.
The stream's not starting, so it still wouldn't work. Yeah. Still wouldn't work.
I was thinking like I'm not getting any audio. Like that's what I was thinking.
No,
I don't know why my brain
that one happened. Yep.
That
one happens all the time.
We got there. How you guys been? Everything good the past week? Any big things happen to either of you? I don't know where I'm going with this. This is what you do at the start of a podcast. You talk to your other host and say, "Hey guys, anything crazy happened the past week?" No, let's talk about video games.
Great. Let's just do that.
Not really crazy, no.
Okay, let's talk about video games, guys. There we go.
My brother came and visited.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Cool.
Yeah. I saw you guys played the South Park game.
Yep.
A little bit. We played it. I looked at it for like 45 minutes to an hour.
Okay.
And I was like, there's no local co-op, and it's not fun enough to just watch like the past couple, like the last two games were. So I was like, let's move on to the co-op and versus shit.
Okay.
So we just did that for the rest of the day.
Zeke, if you were to give that game out of a 1 to 10, where would you give it on that scale? If you had to give it a number, a numerical score, where would you rank it? 1 to 10.
South Park Snow Day.
Yeah.
I said this on Twitter and I'll say it on Drop Frames, but if it were just a regular indie day game with no ties to South Park, I would enjoy my 1.5 to 2 hours of what I usually give on indie day. I would enjoy my 1.5 to 2 hours of playing it and then probably never pick it up again.
Okay.
But it had enough South Park in it, just barely enough South Park in it to actually keep me going. Because I'm a big I love South Park, so I'm a big fan.
Sure.
So that really helped me get through it. But if you don't like South Park, don't get the game. It's average. It's super like, okay, if you want to score, maybe a 6, maybe.
Okay.
We're giving it like grades. Like if I was gonna grade it, I would give it a C-.
Okay. All right. Fair.
Yeah, barely passable.
Fair.
But like for the money, I mean $30 for what content they had. Now they're going to add more content apparently. I think that's the whole deal. Is like it's meant to be played more
It's
times.
some kind of
over and over.
games as a service. Is that
Like roguelike.
Oh, okay. All right.
I think there is a season pass too that you can get. I don't fucking
so
know.
it
I
is
really
a game
don't know.
as service. Yeah.
But I'll tell you this: after playing through it once, it took me like 9-10 hours somewhere around there. It didn't hook me. It didn't make me want to play more.
Okay.
Like I finished it and I was like, that's good. I'm done. But you're supposed to like be able to play it over and over again.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'd wait for a sale if you want to buy it. If you're concerned about like hours to dollars, if that's a thing for you, then I'd wait for a sale.
Okay.
But yeah, it's hard to live up to the last 2 games. The last 2 games are pretty fantastic.
Sure. Sure. Yeah, the reason for the line of questioning is IGN gave it a 3 out of 10 and people lost their minds. People lost their goddamn minds over that.
Lost their minds how? Like in a good way, bad way?
Bad way. Generally, if people are upset with IGN, it's in a bad way. Or losing their minds about IGN. Sorry, it's in a bad way. Yeah.
That is
so they're
actual...
disagreeing with IGN score.
Yes.
Okay. I would disagree with it. I don't think it's a 3 out of 10. I think at the very least it's a 5.
The thing about 3 out of 10 is like you have to at that point ask, like, what is a 1 out of 10? Like,
Sure.
I mean, the game worked. It didn't look terrible. It didn't crash once when I played it for the 2 hours I did, or the hour that I did. Like the thing that really makes me weird about that score is it's kind of like, I don't understand. I don't understand how a score can be that low when the game is like playable. It's really not that bad. I mean, it was funny with the South Park stuff. It's very strange. What's even stranger is that apparently Golem got a higher score.
Did it?
Did it?
Was that right? I think
I'm looking
Golem
real
actually
quick.
got a higher score, or the same score. But
Lord of the Rings.
But the thing that's wild about it is,
I got a 4.
I am 90% convinced that the only reason this game got a 3 out of 10 is because it was a South Park game and IGN knew they'd get more clicks with it. And they also knew that the game wasn't big enough itself to where they could get away with doing it. But yeah, I mean, I don't see how anyone that plays video games could say this is a 3 out of 10 and be able to justify that. Like it just doesn't make sense. Unless your 1 out of 10 rating doesn't factor in like unplayable games and games that are just technically completely flawed and things like that.
The day before was a 1 out of 10 for reference from IGN.
Day before was 1 out of 10.
The day before.
I mean, that makes,
it
wasn't even a game.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Well,
But
yeah,
still,
I
man, it's
think
just
like a failing grade for like or 1 out of 10 or however you choose. I like the grading system for some reason. It just 5 out of 10 has always like, even to me, like knee jerk is like, oh, you hated it. It's like, no, 5 is in the middle. It's average, right? It's like,
well, yeah,
if I say
yeah.
C, everybody's like, oh, I know what a C is. C is passing, but barely.
And that's kind of
like
how I see it.
passing.
I'm kind of in the grade system as well. It's like if you give something a 3 out of 10, you are saying that is not only a failure, but that is like a failure of a failure. Like that is you're not even close to being a decent game at 3 out of 10. Like there's barely anything redeemable about your game at 3 out of 10. That's what I would give personally.
Yeah.
Which is why it's so weird to see that on this game. It's like, I mean, sure, it may not be the best game. Like it's very indie. I mean, the graphics aren't great, but I mean, damn, dude, it's
who made this? Like who published it? Because didn't Ubisoft have? I thought Ubisoft did all the licensing and all that stuff for that. Did they get sold?
They may have, but it was South Park Snow Day was developed by Question. Like that's the name of the dev team, Question.
Oh, okay.
And published by THQ Nordic.
Oh,
I will
THQ,
say this though.
okay.
So you're saying you played through all of it and it was 5 hours?
It was, actually 8.8 hours on record, and I beat. But that's the thing, like
that's 5 hours in Zeke time, or in real person
Normal.
time.
well, sure.
Real person.
But actually, it's actually pretty accurate because I played it on easy. Like if you played on normal or hard, it might take you whatever long. But like it was, and I didn't do a lot of the side shit because there is some side missions you can do and stuff like that. But it's kind of misleading because it's like saying, the first time you beat a roguelike boss, you're like, oh, it only took me like 6 hours to beat the first boss. And you're like, well, you got to go back and play it again. And I think that's the idea of what they're trying to do, but they don't actually list it as a roguelike.
Got it.
Like I didn't unlock barely anything. So it's designed to be played more, so you unlock more shit. And it's also designed, which, might be fucking great. It's designed to be played with 4 players. And I played with myself and AI and 3 AI characters. So maybe it's more fun to play with your friends. But, seeing as how it got a... Well, you guys played it with friends. How was it?
I didn't play
it with friends.
I didn't play with friends. I didn't play it in general.
I thought you guys did.
Co-played
I had a fine time.
Yeah, co-played it. Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Seems like
it was fine. I played with Sacriel, Dan, and Lyric. We played it for an hour.
Oh yeah, okay.
We queued up easy. I mean, it felt like an indie game. It certainly was not like a $60 game, but I mean, it's only $30, so I went in with that, understanding. I was expecting South Park humor. That I got a lot of that. That was and just like Zeke, I'm a big South Park fan, so that was good. But no, I mean, for all the time I played it, it was fine. I've actually considered going back to it to at least finish all the main missions, just again because I love South Park, and the game is just good enough to want me to carry through to that humor. I also was having a pretty good time with the builds and the cards and stuff. That seemed like it could get kind of cool. I really didn't unlock too many weapons, so I kind of wanted to try like the big 2-hand weapon and stuff. I didn't really do much of the range stuff either, but no, man. I mean, it was fine. It was fine. I mean, I would give this game a solid 6.9 out of 10, and I think that's a great score for it. And
so a 3 out of 5.
It's just it's a very basic indie co-op shoot 'em up in the South Park universe that works. That's all it is. I feel like that's all it's setting out for. I will say if it's true you can rip through all the content in like 5-ish hours, then maybe 30 was a bit much. That part I think is something you could, because, and the reason I say that is it's not like the game itself is super enjoyable. Like it's like AAA level enjoyable. It's a very basic game. So the fact that there's also not a lot of content in the basic game means the price is definitely something to be, aware of. But no, I mean, it was cool. I had a good time with it. And I certainly wouldn't say it was like a 3 out of 10. I think that's ridiculous. But yeah.
One other kind of detraction from the game was that I get that the whole premise is it's a snow day, meaning like kids don't go to school. It's snowing. It's too much snow. However, you kind of fucking paint yourself into a corner there with like all the environments are snowy, and it's just like it gets a little same.
Sure.
Every level is covered in snow. It's like, oh great, another snow level. Excellent. Yeah.
Makes sense. Could have released it also in like the dead of winter and not spring. Just not that it matters too much, but would have maybe helped.
Yeah. I'm reading the IGN review.
Yeah.
And it's so clear that this guy just hates this game. Like every line is just dripping with him saying how much like being trapped indoors without power. South Park Snow Day had me frigidly wishing I could be anywhere else. Like,
ooh, nice wordplay there, bro.
That's good.
And then he makes the comment, flat writing makes it not even worth pushing through for a few laughs. Okay, I was laughing in the first hour. So it's like, I feel like this is a guy. Though. I feel like this is a guy that played the game and he didn't want to have a good time. That's what it sounds like. It sounds like he went in not wanting to have a good time. The game is comedy. If you're not feeling like laughing. I mean, what are you gonna do? So I don't know, dude. Yeah.
Humor's subjective. I don't know.
I'll tell you this. I did have
He even mentions
a lot
liking the other South Park games, which is weird. I don't know. Yeah.
No, that's the thing. Like, I remember asking, like, right away that it's the proper voices. It's Matt and Trey doing the voices. So that was a question. I was like, Matt and Trey doing the voices for this? Because it seems like a smaller release than the previous two. They're in. They actually, Matt and Trey were also involved in the writing of the game as well. But I had to look, and that's the thing. Like, I had to go, like, did they write this? And that says something.
Sure.
Because it was good, but it wasn't like, like the previous two games. It seems like the previous two had a little bit more care and attention paid to, like, writing script, story, humor, all that kind of stuff. And this one was just kind of, I mean, it was take like the bottom, like a bottom shelf South Park episode. That was kind of like what it was. It was like, felt a little mailed in for sure.
Got it. Well, hey, Mr. Hankey's in. I just saw him talk in the subtitles, so it's a winner.
Oh, hey, you better turn off the video if you don't want spoilers.
Oh no, let's not get spoilers.
No spoilers. You don't want spoilers, because that was towards the end of the game.
Gotcha. Got it. Oh wait, yes.
Yeah.
Part 5 into the game. You're right. Yeah, sorry, that's on me.
Totally fine.
That's the literal into the game, apparently. Oh boy. Yeah. Anyways,
it was cool though. Like, we had a lot of fun playing, because you get these things called platinum points or PP in the game,
yeah,
and you can use they're the currency you use to get cosmetics, and you get those by doing, like, challenges in levels, like, do this 5 times, complete this in this amount of time, whatever. So you get cosmetics, and of course, I had to be video game protagonist with balls on chin.
Oh,
that was my character, because one of the first things available is the butters.
And that was MTX, you said, or no?
No. It was in-game currency. Like you earn it from doing challenges.
Okay.
Yeah.
Got it. Yeah. Glad to clarify. Glad to clarify. Well, cool. That was, I think, the big release of the week. We're entering into the next 2 months, which are, there's like a handful of games, a sprinkling of games every once in a while. So it's going to be a little bit slow. We jumped the gun in terms of skipping past the news. Yeah, it's true. There's a bunch of like 100+ hour games that folks still need to finish up. Multiple, yeah. News-wise, the III initiative was announced. That's a thing. I'm like really big in the camera. Every time I look over, I'm just like, hey guys, welcome to
Did you move your camera around?
Yes, I did, because I put a new monitor on the thing. Let's see. Let's do that, and maybe nope.
Still some corner there. Might be able to clip that off in post though.
Yeah, we can clip that.
Oh, now both sides got it. How did you pull that off?
How
did you pull off both sides,
Because I'm dead center and where it's supposed to go. That looks a little bit better, right? I'm not like...
That looks fine.
I'm not like, hey, guys, welcome.
Your head is still like twice... If you lean even slightly forward, your head becomes twice the size of me.
I have a big head. That's true to life.
You do.
I got a massive melon. Yeah.
And it doesn't help that, like, Cole's probably not like this, but I'm definitely like gamer hunch. Like,
oh, you're not... Yeah.
Yeah. We all gamer hunch a little bit there. Now I'm gonna be really tiny, and you guys are the ones with the bad cameras.
See, the joke, what you got to do, Zeke, is you got to rotate your camera back a little bit, and that way your gamer posture doesn't look as bad. That's the technique.
That's correct. That's correct. Yeah, that's how that works.
Okay,
that's how that works. The III initiative was announced April 10th. They're gonna have world premieres, exclusive gameplay, demos, and drops. This is a group of independent game developers, including the makers of Dead Cells, Slay the Spire, Darkest Dungeon, Spiritfarer, Terraria, and V Rising. and they have their own video game showcase called the Triple I Initiative.
And what they did is all these devs got together and they said, pitch us the worst name we could pick for a game show.
Is it?
They all got together and agreed. Yeah, absolutely. This is terrible. Are you kidding me? Triple I?
What?
What's a double I? What's a single I? Are they actually rating this? What is a triple I compared to an
there
A?
are three. Okay, there are three categories in games.
The last thing we need is more vacuous letter things.
There's indie. There's triple I, meaning indies with a lot of money. And there's triple A, quadruple A for only very select few games.
Yeah,
maybe one.
Maybe one in particular.
But, yeah. There's no double A and there's no single A. Okay. This is not like college or high school sports. Okay. It's triple A, I, and triple I, and that's it. And quadruple A.
So is a quadruple I a double A or a single A?
No.
And what happens
it's
if
not
you get
algebra?
No, there's no.
Eyes?
What are you not understanding? There's no double A, no single
What
A.
What is the relation of a triple I to a double A?
No, double A does
has
exist.
The budget of a triple A, but the triple I actually has the budget of the triple A. That's Baldur's Gate. So what are we doing now? What are we doing, chat? What are we doing?
We're talking
Baldur's
about
Gate
it. So in that regard, I think it's a success.
I like Shinobi Boo. Are we talking batteries? What's going on here? No, okay. So I made a joke about it. But no, when I first heard the Triple I Initiative, I thought it was a troll. I legit thought it was a troll. I was like, haha, Indie Devs being funny. And then I learned that it was a name. I was like, when I learned it was the actual name they were going with for their big showcase, I was just like, oh no. Like, what does that even mean? Like, why isn't it just I? What does triple I even mean? Does it mean something? Does I mean something? Is it like indie?
No, it's
incredible? I awesome? Like what is anything? I don't know.
What are you doing, a Zeke over here for I'm going left?
I don't even know, dude.
I know exactly. I was thinking like slip on back.
Oh my god. Wow.
No. I think it's a great name, and the reason why I think it's a great name is because the names that are involved with it are indie, but they're indies with money. Like that's who's putting this on, is indie companies with a lot of money.
Sure.
Like that have had major successes with their games. That's who's producing this.
Yeah. What was that, Co?
Technically, in my opinion, no.
I was gonna say, if an indie has a lot of money, doesn't that like immediately make them not as indie?
It doesn't. Money is not a consideration for indie.
No.
What's a consideration for indie is the size of the team.
You're saying resources aren't a consideration if a game is indie or not?
No. As long as the team's not big.
What?
No, think about it. You can have all the money in the world, but if you're only two people, you're still only two people. That's indie.
Then you could contract people.
That's a team.
And that's not indie, or that is indie?
That's not indie. That would exit you out from being indie.
So
if you have like, I think we agreed on like, 8 people, maybe 9.
But wait,
indie
means independent, though. It has nothing to do
but
with
independent doesn't mean poor. Independent doesn't mean poor.
Yeah, but what if it's a large team that's independent of other?
I'm just saying, like the baseline for indie. Someone put it very succinctly. And I think it's a good baseline for indie. Small team, no publisher interference.
But again, if it's a large team that's independent,
it's not a large team. Large team makes it not indie. That's what I'm saying.
You know what? I'm just gonna drop this.
No, I'm serious. Like, are we not like seeing like what you seeing what I'm saying?
So
like
the term
two things: small team, no publisher interference with the game. That's it. Okay. Those are the two baselines. What
if it's a large team that has no publisher?
Indie. Like I said, small team. And you're like, but what if it's a large team? And I'm like, that means it's not there. You're violating the first rule.
So what what's really interesting is what's going on right now is 2 people arguing over a term, and they both have different definitions for that term. So we're both right because we
large
both
and
have
small
different
are debatable.
definitions for indie. My definition is that indie is independent of a large publisher, is independent of another team telling them what to do. So in my definition, you actually absolutely could have a large team that is not beholden to any other publisher or company. You could argue that Baldur's Gate 3 is indie because it is an independent product, even though it is millions of dollars.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, would you say Baldur's Gate 3 is independent?
That is a really interesting discussion that we had many times during Baldur's Gate 3. And the short answer is a lot of people do think that Baldur's Gate 3 is independent based on the original definition. But the term indie has evolved over time to mean lots of different things. And many of those current day definitions of indie do not include Baldur's Gate 3. So that's the issue. The issue is that the term indie means lots of different things. And all of this that we're talking about now is one of the reasons I think that title is so ridiculous. It's kind of interesting that we got to this point because that is one of the reasons I was kind of like, we can't even agree what indie means. So what does triple I mean? the term indie is so vacuous these days. It can mean so many different things to so many different people. It's interesting to talk about that, but there's no agreed upon global definition of indie. Like even different indie devs will tell you indie means different things. And it also means different things to them. And it means different things to other people they work with. So it's like,
we talked about it with Rami.
Yeah.
And we came to a consensus of like, it has to feel indie. And that's like, it takes into account a bunch of shit. It's like, does this feel independent based on all the facts that you know? Small budget, big team, whatever, publisher, blah, 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 blah. Take all of those and look at it and go, does that feel indie to me? And that's kind of what he said, because it's like this, it's an independent is now an idea rather than an actual definition.
We can all get together, both on this show and in chat. We can agree that Ko and Zeke are both wrong, and we can move on. Are we in agreement?
Well, I love people saying Zeke is wrong, Ko is right, Ko is wrong, Zeke is right. No, because it's a fucking opinion.
I'm wrong, and you are wrong. And chat is right. And we can
hold on. Does that make me right?
You abstain.
Yes. You were right from staying out of it. Good job.
Yes. Yeah, he was right for not being involved in the conversation. Okay, there we go.
Yes, because that was just the name.
The reason why, like, because I do a lot of indie games, right? And we talk about it. We talk about it constantly. Like, oh shit, this is published by Square Enix. Does this still count as indie? This is made by blah 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 team with a huge budget. Does it still count as indie? And I saw like a synopsis of it. Someone did an analysis of like indie and came down to those two things that I said. And I was like, that's a good, like, for me, it's not end all be all, but it's a good baseline. Is the team a smaller team, meaning not over 10? And did the team make the game, or person or team make the game with no outside influences from the dev or from publishers or anybody with, like producers basically do on movies? Those two baseline things are where, like, the jumping off point where I say, like, if those two things are true, then I think that's a good indication of if it's indie or not.
Okay.
See? That's how people talk. We get along.
Sure.
I think that I think we're pretty much on the same page. I would agree that almost all of the games I would define as indie fall under the two things you just said. I think the definition is broader, but I think that what you said is true.
Yeah.
Yes.
No, it's just,
but it's also,
go on.
Last thing I'm going to say on this, and this has been very eye-opening for me personally, learning this process and how it works, because it actually brings in this side of the conversation that we don't normally talk about when we talk about indie. And that is, since I have been doing more and more investing, one of the things that's really interesting is there are a lot of indie devs that do raises, that do investments. And a lot of the time, a big part of those investments is for equity or company ownership. And what that means is that a lot of these companies that are indie and public have people they're beholden to behind the scenes that you may not know about and never know about. And you never may know their involvement in the product or the game, which is kind of funny to think about, because then you have this like behind, like we're always so public where it's like, oh, indie is independent. No one's telling them what to do, but we'll never know if they have large investors behind the scene that are doing just that maybe own controlling stakes in their company because they funded them at the very beginning. And maybe they're telling them what to do. Like, which is interesting because like that brings in this whole, like, even an indie game might not be independent and we would never know. So yeah, kind of wild. And we never really talk about that. It's like, that's just not a part of the indie conversation.
True.
Which is wild.
Yeah.
But you know, something to think about.
Moving this discussion even deeper into the fucking hole. How do you guys feel about this graph here from Aggro Crab Games, the maker of Another Crab's Treasure, an underwater
This is
Souls-like?
actually great, especially for the bottom left. Like that's the whole bottom left square is a discussion in itself. It's really interesting about that stuff.
No, I don't think money has any place in determining whether a game is indie or not. Because you could have just picture a billionaire making a game by themselves, like no outside help.
Yeah,
nobody
that's Stardew
hired.
Valley.
Indie game. That's what I'm saying. Like money should not count.
Pretty
on
sure
if
he's
it's
a
an
billionaire
indie game
by
or
now.
not.
It has to
Should
be
be.
by now, yeah.
And how good a game looks graphically. I mean, you can make you could buy the best, machine, software, all that kind of shit, and still make it by yourself and still make it look super realistic by yourself. It would take a long time, but you could still do it. So I think aesthetics and money are not like good benchmarks for indie games.
So you would call Star Citizen not an indie game?
How big's the team?
Massive.
Gigantic.
Huge.
Millions of dollars.
No, absolutely no.
Okay. Makes sense. Fits your definition.
Yeah. Anyways, Triple I Initiative is happening.
And by the way, after all of this, we debate on the show. Don't worry, we still hate each other after the show.
That's
So
correct.
nothing has changed.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
What we like to do is we kind of tease the arguments on the show. What you're watching is all the pre-arguments, but then when the show's done, we just let loose at each other.
Correct.
Lots of cursing, profanity, yelling, lots of yelling. Basically, our arguments are just who could yell the loudest.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, how many people out there have a family like that where hate kind of keeps you together?
It's true. It's true. It's basically fishes. If you've seen The Bear, that's all. That is.
Be like,
It's
thanks
just
for watching
fishes.
Drop Frames, guys. Okay, are we clear? Are we clear? Great.
Honest 3 is an indie thing, you motherfucker.
See, and I don't hear that. I'm just as impartial as I am right now because I don't hear the end of the show because I'm still muted. So it's just these two. I have to sit between them. I can't even be close to one another.
So you're going to be home at 3 p.m. for your
I
daily
do.
Dog shit on fire.
That's
Ed?
yes. JP
Okay,
is what I do with my 5 and 7-year-old. He sits between us at the dinner table, or I sit between them so they can't like throw food at each other. That's like what me and Zeke do.
Correct. Yeah.
We're not allowed. Teacher said we cannot sit next to each other anymore. We're too loud and disruptive.
Yeah.
Can I just tell a small story from staying at Co's house that I just fucking love? I think it's
Go
hilarious.
ahead. Yeah.
A small story from staying at Co's house that I've told it a few times because it makes me laugh every time. So we're having Co treated us to barbecue for dinner one night. No. This is
okay.
We have barbecue again, dude.
Co doesn't remember because he thinks his
we went to
butler
the
made
place
it.
and got that big old
No,
two big trays of barbecue.
The
that he brought
butler
home.
brings in the food. He doesn't know where it comes from, Zeke.
I don't know what's happening. No, I was bugged out the entire time Zeke was here, beginning to end.
Oh, I know.
It's the only way you can get through it. I get it.
You should
fact,
see his Co's playroom.
Yeah, you just
It
reminded
is
me you
just
visited.
full of drugs. Anyway, it's wall-to-wall drugs and apparatus to do drugs. Anyways,
Whole thing.
that's for a later time.
Now, is
But
that
obviously we
triple
were-
I or is that double A?
No, it was definitely
That-
triple. Never mind.
Never mind. I was gonna say double A, but that's a whole joke in itself.
Yeah. I was gonna say double D, but take
There
that.
you- there you
So
Wouldn't
I
it
was
be
sitting at the
triple
table
X?
with his family. First of all, I was sitting at his table. It was me, Co, and his kids, 3 kids, and we're sitting around the table. And his wife is standing up, and I'm like, "Why are you standing up?" And then I was answered like 3 minutes later by the kids, like running, like getting out, starting to run around. She's like, "That's why I stand up, so I can go get them." And she's like, I'm not, I took a picture of this. Lena is like in the corner, like with her little thing of salad, like I hope no one bumps the salad out of my hand. This is the first meal I've gotten today. Just like,
no.
But I also like,
Accurate.
I was like, I grabbed, they have a wicker basket of hand towels, like handkerchiefs, or not handkerchiefs, but cloth napkins, basically.
Okay.
And so I grab one of the cloth napkins and I start like dabbing my face. And Lena's like, might not want to do that. They like, we use them, but like the kids oftentimes take those things and dump them out on the floor and like play with them and then put them back. I was like, oh, okay. It doesn't bother me. And so I'm like, oh yeah, okay, good. And the very next day, I see one of the little ones, and he has done that thing. He has taken the wicker basket of hand napkins, cloth napkins, and dumped them out on the floor. And he also has, as little boys are wont to do, also has his hand down his pants the whole time. And then he's like periodically switching hands to touch every napkin. And I was like, you know what?
That's boys.
I'm like, oh, it's not that they just put them on the floor. They do something else as well.
It's never just the floor. It's never just the floor.
Oh man. I always wonder why Co streams
she was a little...
as much as he does, but now I get it,
Oh, no.
This is my only escape, JP. This is it. You should see if you've ever seen like Jurassic Park movies where the guy like busts through the door and then holds the door closed as the dinosaurs trying to get on. That's me and my kids every time I come downstairs.
Yeah,
I just run into the basement and hold the door. They try. I get my locks, my chains set up properly.
I get it.
Flick the 6 locks and then I go down and stream.
Yeah. Understandable.
It was great.
Understandable.
I actually pointed it out to Lena. I was like, I thought these napkins smelled a little funny. I couldn't put my finger on it.
Yeah, we wash that thing like 3 times a week.
Yeah.
Oh,
she was minorly horrified, but she saw that I don't give a shit. I'm not squeamish about anything. I mean, I was the oldest of 4 boys growing up in a house, so like that shit's pretty. That felt like it. Oh man, I remember this. Yeah. I remember everybody walking around screaming at each other, and then one of them coming in crying, going, "Toy!"
Yeah,
great.
Yeah.
But it also like every time those kids screamed, I felt my snipped and clipped vas deferens like kind of pulse a little.
That'll happen. They tell you to watch out for that. That's how it goes.
Yeah.
Well, anyways, Triple I Initiative.
Wow, that was a segue.
That was a 50-minute ordeal.
I can't wait to watch it though. Sounds great. I love it. I'm looking forward to name aside. I can't wait to see what they have to offer. I think that's super cool. They're doing it. There were so many like little showcases that companies have been putting on, the Microsofts and the PlayStations and stuff. It's nice to see like some indies stepping up, getting together. It's interesting because this kind of reminds me of there was the show that started to be this essentially, and that was like the Larian guys. Larian and a bunch of other devs started this like 4 years ago. Oh, and that has now become its own thing. Yeah, we watch it every Summer Games Fest. It's what's the name of that? They're doing it's the guy that talks with his hands. Remember? It's that whole initiative. Remember that started as the you have any idea what I'm talking about?
I do, and I'm trying to
Guerrilla Collective. Thank you. Guerrilla
there
Collective.
you go. There you go.
That started as what this is. And then it became like something very different. Like it started moving towards like wholesome games and cozy games, and like now it's And then like PC Gamer kind of moved in, but I wonder if this is like a re-envisioning of what Guerrilla Collective started at.
Maybe. Yeah. There's a longer interview on rockpapershotgun.com with the, I guess it's multiple people kind of, but the organizers behind the scenes for all of this. So think there's a chance that Hollow Knight Silk Song shows up here? Is that I mean,
It'd be a cool place for it to show up.
I mean, it'd be a cool place for it to show up, but I mean, is it big enough for that? I mean, that's going to be a big.
Is Silk Song big enough?
Well, I mean, games like go to multiple conferences or get shown at multiple conferences if they're, a big enough deal. Like maybe they debut here and then they show on other PC Gamer showcase, whatever.
Maybe.
I almost guarantee you that if Silk Song went to Jeff and said like, "Hey, we've got a big reveal trailer for you," that he'd be like, "Give me that. Let's like start of show stuff." Like
yeah, 100%.
Silk Song at this point is yeah. So I mean, the idea, I don't know if they'd be here. But like I was saying,
Silk Song is a Game Pass title. I'm just reading chat. They were saying Silk Song is Xbox Game Pass thing. I don't know if that's true or not. Sorry.
Maybe.
Is Silk Song that expected? I'd say so. I'd say it's one of the more hyped indie titles right now. I mean, it's like a meme at this point.
At this point, it's a meme. Yeah. Anytime there's a game thing, they're just like Silk Song.
Team Cherry is not in the list of contributing devs.
Well, that would give it away, chat. Duh. Okay, we're gonna keep the hopium live.
Yeah, not wrong, but I feel like you'd probably want to publicize that.
Maybe.
Real quick.
Maybe.
Two things. One, I just realized from Cassiopeia, my chat said why I'm a little biased about this branding here, and why I immediately was like, "Oh, I love that."
It's you. It's your eyes, man.
There it is. Triple I.
Yeah.
Right there.
Wait, you're just now getting that?
It's like I like that for some reason, and I can't put my finger on it.
Why do you think I initially hated it? I mean.
That's why I didn't talk at all, because I didn't want to engage with it.
Oh, man.
It all makes sense, really. It was right there in front of us.
I was instantly like, Zeke, this sucks.
Man,
what is this name?
Jeez.
Yeah, same thing for like the Apollo Creed 3 and Black Ops 3, like their logo. I was like, I like this logo, and I don't know why.
That movie was great. Have you seen it?
Simple black background with 3 red bars on it. I don't know why I enjoy it.
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay, so see, now I'm putting this in my calendar so I'll remember to do it. And I put it in as I capital, but that didn't look right because it has the dots on it. So then I did it lowercase, and that doesn't look right because it's lowercase. So what were they thinking with this?
Well, the second one has to be an upside down exclamation mark, like
I exclamation part.
That's that's how the branding is. Yeah, that's what the branding is.
Is it really?
Yeah. I closed it, but I can prove it to you. Here.
Oh no,
it's right here.
Oh, don't do that.
See? Oh shit! It changed. Hold on. When you refresh the website,
I saw that.
There it goes. Oh,
it moves around.
Oh God, no.
Oh, so is this the branding?
It's triple I, but it's also like pink, like the artist Pink, because her eye is just an exclamation point.
Maybe so. Okay, so it looks like this is the.
God dang. All right, I don't even.
Oh, it moved again. Anymore. I don't know. We're done. They've confounded us. We are confounded. We're doomed. We can't.
We're doomed.
We can't.
Okay, if you go to their Twitter, it's _initiative. 30+ announcements, no ads, no extra fluff, just games beamed straight into your eyeballs. See you April 10th.
Yep, they're doing it right. At least
I was unaware that there was 0 ads.
Yeah. Their website, by the way,
they have 3 eyes and an underscore.
Well, their website is III-initiative.
I'm in.
Damn it!
I'm totally in at this point.
Yeah.
Yep.
Over. By the way, we'd like to announce we've been sponsored by Big Indie for the first hour of today's show.
Indie.
Rami hooked it up. And
we have been sponsored by all indie teams over 50 members.
That's correct. That's correct.
Awesome.
Yeah.
All large teamed indies.
Yep. Yep. Exactly. All right. I fully expect the next hour to be brought to you by Marvel Rivals, because I know you guys are both as passionate about this game as you are what makes a thing I and AAA and double. Right? Right, guys? This is your jam here.
Hey,
this is what you're talking.
I mean, is it not like Marvel Overwatch?
It's actually
Yeah.
like, yeah, like maybe they don't even have. Maybe it's just Overwatch with Marvel skins. Who could say? Like, if you look at the gameplay, that's exactly what it looks like. Yeah, this was the big the big announcement, I guess, of the week. It kind of, you have to undercut all of the, I think, excitement for people that haven't seen anything like this and immediately go with who makes that game? NetEase. NetEase is publishing / developing this game, and so that's
NetEase did Once Human is publishing Once Human, right? Pretty sure.
NetEase is
Sure, yeah.
publishing Once Human.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I can win you guys back with that. That's right. But
There are some interesting caveats to that, though.
yes, there are.
Yes.
Yeah, it's pretty.
Oh, okay.
Pretty involved in that. But yeah, this was announced. It's so Overwatch. Like so many of the the VOD is lagging. So many of just like the abilities in general are straight up like Overwatch. They made Magneto look like a Overwatch character and nothing like Magneto.
An artist on Twitter said they didn't get paid for their work on this trailer. That's
Yeah.
really strange considering how many big names are in this trailer.
It goes it's somewhat misleading.
I didn't hear anything about that.
Yeah, it's somewhat misleading because he did spec art very early on, it sounds like. Let me see if I can find the full information. If you check his tweets, he only did an art test. He didn't work directly with the project. Given by the name, I'm guessing an art test is essentially a take-home project to see if your art style fits what they're looking for before they hire you. So essentially spec work. Yeah. So
they gave him a test. He took the test and then they used what he returned in the trailer.
Maybe the full tweet is, I remember working on this with NetEase over COVID. They did not pay for the work I did at the end, and it was one of the most directionalist project I've ever ever had the misfortune of working on. From Will the Bow on Twitter. So,
Whoa.
yeah, but it didn't have that much traction. So I don't know if because of what I just said, people like skipped over it or.
That does not sound like somebody who liked his time there. Like,
no,
my lord, that's kind of shooting yourself in the foot a bit publicly to talk about your previous boss like that.
Yeah.
You must really mean it.
He must. Anyways, it is straight up Overwatch. There's no doubt about it. I don't know why.
Looking at this
here,
this list of playable characters in it, I want to know how they choose. Like, because like
how do you figure? Like,
Luna Snow is in it,
groups?
who almost nobody fucking knows, and one character from X-Men, Magneto, like no
Storm's
Wolverine,
in there.
no
Storm's
Professor,
in there.
or Storm's in there. Okay,
Yeah.
Okay.
Punisher's in there. I mean, they have a decent roster.
Was that somebody wearing Galactus's armor?
That's
Penny
Galacta,
Parker?
Galactus's daughter. Real character.
Oh.
Only been used once though, and like the.
I was going to say I didn't even know she existed. How
A
interesting.
lot of people don't.
Okay.
A lot of people don't.
There you go.
But yeah, that's
Hold on a
Galacta.
second.
Luna Snow is a brand new character from Marvel Future Fight, I think, says Hellblade.
Oh,
Is that
okay.
accurate?
So they're trying to
So she's
hype
new.
up a new character.
Yeah,
Okay.
they may be trying to make
That makes
her
more
popular
sense,
in
yeah.
this game.
Okay.
So JP,
Someone's saying
I'd say out of
Luna Snow is a Korean character to appeal to a Korean market.
Also
Perhaps.
true.
I mean,
Yeah.
you
Okay.
have hundreds of hours in Overwatch, JP.
I don't know if
and
I
you're
ever
also a
crested
big-
1,000. Yeah, 100's probably the correct. Yeah.
But okay, you're also a big Marvel guy.
Right.
So what does this do for you?
I mean, it's two giant.
Do you see this and roll your eyes, or do you see this and get excited?
I get excited with a very like it's fucking NetEase, right? So I'm just like, I hope it's good. Like I hope I hope they knock it out of the park. But yeah, it very much is like 2 Venn diagrams, which I am very much involved or consider myself interested in. At one point, I don't actively play Overwatch anymore. But I did play a lot when it was kind of in the Overwatch heyday.
Did you do a lot of 2? You didn't do a lot of 2, did you?
I did like maybe like 20 hours when it first launched, and then I was just like, okay, I'm good. I don't need to revisit this because it's the same game. So
have they mentioned the Marvel? Is it going to be free to play?
I don't know if they got into that, to be honest.
I mean, with NetEase,
you would think, right? Yeah. They didn't even say that it was like mobile, I don't think. All that's on their website is Steam and Epic Game Store. There's no console things. Seems like only PC. So
I wonder if they're trying to like sell console exclusiveness and they just haven't yet.
Maybe, yeah. They've got an alpha test in May. Yeah, I think the artwork is fucking awesome. They've nailed that. I'm super in on the look of it for sure.
And they took a page out of I forgive me if I fucked this up, but like took a page out of Marvel vs. Capcom with the team up stuff.
Yes,
that's really cool idea, I think.
Yeah,
still one of the best fighting games to date.
Yeah. Sorry for the random music right there. You guys didn't hear it in terms of Zeke and co, but they have autoplay music on their website because of course they do. So
of course they do.
That's what
I'm reading this Screen Rant one and there's like tip Hulk can charge Iron Man's armor with his gamma energy to unleash even more damage. So I'm guessing like
we saw that.
Yeah,
we
right.
saw that in the thing. Yep.
Yeah. Every pair probably has a different way to team up, maybe? Or is it just it would be weird if it was just certain pairs, because then you'd have to have those too.
Right.
So I'm guessing like I would hope that everyone like they just took the character and said, how do they team up with everybody else?
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of like iconic Marvel team ups as well that they'll probably include in there. But yeah, like Groot and Rocket, I think, have a team up move, which of course they do. So yeah, it's for me, it's really like wait and see like proper gameplay, and also to see like how it's monetized. I think that's another big thing is like, do you buy this for $60 and all the characters are unlocked? Probably not. Do you download this and it's got a rotation of characters where they lock Spider-Man behind the first paywall to make the most money possible?
I honestly,
he's the most popular comic book character in the world. Yeah.
I was picturing the Hulk like doing that gamma ray thing, and the gamma radiation comes out, and then it like stops and it goes $199. Like if you want to complete this team up, it'll cost you $1.99.
Yeah, it really comes down to like, you know, how it's monetized. Because NetEase made Diablo Immortal, right? But they've also like published Once Human, so you know they could go both ways. But
yeah, the NetEase and Once Human thing is interesting because the devs are swearing up and down that the monetization is only going to be cosmetic, but it's a free-to-play game, and there's lots and lots of room for monetization in the game. So we're in this interesting thing where it's like, this is going to be one of the first times, if the devs do stick to their word, that we're going to see a NetEase game that like isn't monetized into the ground. Yeah. And I think a lot of us really hope it is, because that game's actually really cool. Once Human is actually fantastic. So as long as it stays not monetized, like it's going to be awesome. But
it's funny, like how many like I think Once Human did that same thing. They were like, wait, we're not gonna do microtransactions, we promise, or like non-cosmetic microtransactions, we promise. I know we're associated with NetEase, so we just want to allay your suspicions.
No, what did he say? I don't remember the exact quote, but he like one of the community guys sent me a message a while back, and he was basically like, "Yeah, the devs said that they would die before they let that happen, or what would they say? They phase out the company before they let that happen, or something crazy."
Yeah.
Of course, NetEase is just going to be like, "Lol, okay, here's $5 million. We're going to do what we want." Like they can just buy the company from him at the end of the day. It's freaking NetEase, but
They got a lot of money.
yeah, it'll be interesting to see if they can actually do it.
Yeah. And I think, that's where I'm at with Marvel Rivals. The big, I guess, community reach out point that they had, and I've always seen this. I've never participated. I participated this time around. They said, come and join our Discord. And that's just like out there. I think it's there's like the Discord link right here. So I joined their Discord and just stayed in like the main chat for about 30 minutes and just reading the most absurd comments you've ever seen. It was, I mean, even right now, like I just opened it up. Man, I cannot wait for Captain Israel. Like they're just like,
Good Lord.
It's a complete mess.
There are so like where do you even start with that? I don't even.
It's
like,
really good. It's really good.
No,
Here's another good one.
JP's book with the indie argument. Stay out of it. You win.
Here's another good one.
Oh, wait.
Yeah, I hope Spider-Man and Silk have a team up move where they fuck.
Everybody has that.
Okay.
You just don't say it.
The guy wrote that out, that entire thing, and then he like walked to the other side of his room and got a running start to the energy and was like, bam, woo! Like that was probably the height of his month writing that line. Like, he gets it. The dude gets it.
Elbow drop that energy.
It's so funny.
To be fair, I also hope that's their team up move. So I'm actually can you +1 his comment?
It got a ton of reactions.
Oh, it did?
Immediately.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
Also, by the way,
75,000 people in that Discord right now. So yeah.
I felt bad saying this without the exact quote. So I'm going to say the exact quote from the Once Human guy.
Okay.
This is from the NA marketing director of Once Human. We don't want pay to win stuff either. My question to them was, is this going to become a pay to win mess with NetEase? We will sell cosmetic packs. We might do a battle pass, but I don't think so. Here we go. It's not that fun, in quotes. And here it is. We don't like any kind of pay to win in the studio, so NetEase has to kill us all or replace us.
Yeah.
Period.
Strong takes. Yeah.
So it's like, you will die to not have microtransactions in your... Okay.
Oh.
Well, I believe we call that based AF. Thank you so much. A message received.
Yeah.
I do think it's hilarious though that we all know we're going to receive like literally the week before Once Human goes live. It's going to be the press release like NetEase has purchased all rights to Once Human. Welcome NetEase to the family. We're going to Bermuda. Thanks for being here. Enjoy Once Human, guys. Bye.
It might happen.
Just like get in a plane and leave.
Yeah. Might happen.
Oh man.
Yeah, so that's Marvel Rivals. What else happened this past week? A handful of things. There was interview with PC Gamer who's where the Slay the Spire and Darkest Dungeon devs said that the big Game Pass and Epic exclusive deals have dried up for indie devs. So it seems like that's stopping, which is sad, but I guess makes sense given that there's no way that could have continued, ? Maybe it could have. I don't know how much money was actually exchanging hands there, but I guess Microsoft kind of has infinite resources in a lot of ways.
Well, now.
Yeah.
I mean, we thought that about Embracer too.
True. We do have Embracer news. Co, you're going to bring some up though before I
Oh, just before we leave the fighting games thing,
Uh-huh.
there was a tweet that happened yesterday that hit me a little close to home.
Oh.
And this is from Katsuhiro Harada.
Ah, I know where you're going.
For those that don't know, he is actually the game director of Tekken. And he'd been receiving this request over and over, and it was really confusing him. So he put up a tweet to ask about it. And I'll read the tweet verbatim. Here we go. Katsuhiro Harada. Okay, I will only ask once about this request. Why do some communities send me requests for a Waffle House stage? Please be sure to explain the basis for this request, including the original story, history, and background. I look forward to an explanation from someone who knows more.
He got it. I mean,
we might get
apparently.
Okay, here's what I'm trying to say. There's not a lot that would get me to play Tekken 8. Okay. I might play Tekken if they put this stage in. I feel like I'd have to. Like I don't.
Okay. In Billings, we didn't have a Waffle House, but we did have an all-night 24-hour Denny's, and it was exactly the same thing. It was cops called every other night, fights in the parking lot. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Can we call it Waffle Hut then? Come on, there's ways around this, Katsuhiro.
It's true.
Oh.
But I'm not to poo-poo on the Waffle House IP, but it can't be that expensive, can it?
Dude, I will say this. If Waffle House is not already reaching out to them to make this happen,
yeah,
they are dropping the ball. That is a fumble.
Yeah.
Like the idea that Waffle House would not like publicly embrace and endorse a Waffle House level in Tekken 8, that is actually obscene. Oh my God. They need to get on this for all of us, for all of our sakes.
They should have like not even just a stage at Waffle House. They should have a Waffle House fucking employee in Tekken.
As
like,
a character. Yeah.
Those guys are fucking tough as shit. They don't put up with nothing. It's great.
Yeah.
I've seen the lots of videos.
I don't see a single reply on Waffle House's Twitter about this.
Well, it's Monday. Tuesday. I guess Monday's a holiday.
It's Sunday. It's Easter.
It is Easter Sunday.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll give him a day, and then I'm going to call John Waffle.
Yeah, that's how you should. I didn't see this tweet till just now, so this is new news to me. But according to BioWare project director Michael Gamble, the Mass Effect 5 title will be made by the original Mass Effect trilogy veterans, specifically the executive producer, art director, creative director, and game director. They are all trilogy vets.
Can't wait to see them slowly get kicked from the team as the vision doesn't line up with their new money-making practices.
Over the next 12 months, it's just, wow, the art director is leaving Mass Effect. Wow, the creative director, he's out. He's going, wow. Now the executive producer. What's going on at BioWare? I wonder.
I don't know. Here's the. I saw that news and I hate saying it, but the jaded part of me immediately goes like, man, it's unfortunate to play PR with those guys' career. Like, I immediately was just like you're using these guys to promote it, but are you really using them to make a good game? Like that's the part that kind of wore on me a little bit.
Yeah,
I really hope it all works, and I hope Mass Effect 5 is great. But I mean, man, did they drop the ball with Andromeda? I mean, it was like they showed us in Andromeda, but that they are not a studio capable of creating what they used to, in terms of like the quality and what it is. So for them to kind of be like, you know, hey, we're gonna try again, but we're gonna bring back the old guard, is kind of like, that's cool, but it's like, I just hope it works out. I just hope it works out. Real quick for chat. I liked Andromeda too, but there's no question it had some serious issues, especially on release. Like,
yeah. To the like 4 guys in your chat that said they liked Andromeda, great. We're all happy for you. No one else did.
We'll save that discussion. Okay.
I was one of them. I liked Andromeda.
It was a solid 3 out of 10.
The 6 people that liked it. including the two of you.
Ryder Worm.
Yeah. It wasn't necessarily like a PR post. So I do want to like add an asterisk to that comment code because it was basically the director just responding to a tweet, which is kind of PR-y, but they didn't put out like a PR message. They didn't blast that over the
That's cool.
the airwaves.
That's
but
weird. I was actually told otherwise, so that's kind of cool to know. So
Yeah.
they were just talking about
yeah.
new
So
Mass Effect.
at
and he
least
was
the,
like,
at least the tweet that I'm reading, it started from a YouTuber who said Mass Effect 5 leadership team is mostly original trilogy veteran devs. Several have been there since the beginning. I sincerely think the game is in very good hands, and the narrative that everyone left is disrespectful to those still there. Games aren't made by one dev. And then a random Twitter said, I want to believe this, but if you have a source to verify the Mass Effect 5 teams got trilogy veterans, that would really be worth a lot. And then Michael Gamble, who is the
and then the guy
project
replied,
director,
was like, yeah, okay.
responded and said, yes, the EP, art director, creative director, game director are all trilogy vets. And that was on
So
the 23rd. So
were those people on Andromeda too?
that I do not know. And I have no idea. It would take some cross-referencing to find that out. But yeah, maybe someone in chat knows. I'm not sure. But
I'll look into that. I'll follow that up.
a handful of people are saying no, they were not on Andromeda in my chat. But yeah, you could definitely. I'm sure it's easily accessible to find that information. What else?
I can do it more for sure. That game needs to be good, man. It needs to be good. Like if it's another Andromeda, we're never going to see a Mass Effect game again. And it's such a good franchise.
Yeah, I'd agree with that.
I really hope they nail it.
Do you think with all the and this might be a larger discussion, but and that's fine if it is. But do you think with all the like game IPs going to Hollywood, is Mass Effect something that could be adapted for TV? Or should be adapted for TV?
The Mass Effect universe could absolutely be a great show or movie.
Yeah.
But I mean, then you're talking about Haloism though. Like, how good would it be towards the subject material? What would happen in that? But I mean, the story of Mass Effect is phenomenal. I mean, if you think about like the story between like 1, 2, and 3, like, there's some really great parts in that story.
Yeah.
I think it'd make a damn good show or movie. They did it right.
I think the same person that from the Discord that you talked about, Spider-Man and whoever, I hope they fuck. I think the same person is in Coach channel saying, HBO is Shari tits. Woo! For Mass Effect.
Yeah, no, that might be the same person. Also, that's actually Co's alt from judging by his facial reaction.
Yeah, no, that was me. I said that. Yeah.
Wade in my chat says
that's the AI working.
Wade in my chat says the Expanse creators had said they wanted to work with Mass Effect. I'd be into that. Give the Expanse showrunners they can do space. Just put some Mass Effect in that shit and
dude. Somebody just brought up a really good point in my chat.
I'm on board. Yeah.
They were like, keep in mind, BioWare will have to survive until the next Mass Effect because they're releasing the newest Dragon Age before then.
That is true. Dragon Age does come out first. Yeah.
Oh.
We'll probably get gameplay of
I hate that we live in a world where that's like an actual concern. I hate that. Where it's like, we have to temper our hype for a future product because one that's really bad might be coming out before it and the whole thing might just fall apart. Wow. All right. Well,
you're telling me, Co,
this year?
I think it is. You're telling me that all those promotional videos that EA made of developers standing around in the offices talking about Dragon Age weren't enough to sway you to be sure that that game's going to be good? It didn't work? It didn't remove the jadedness from you? No? Man. Well, someone's going to have to tell EA. They're going to have to let them know they got to try harder.
I don't even think we've seen the game. I don't know if we're ever going to see the game.
It's got to be this summer. They have to show gameplay this summer.
Dude, it's April. Like,
Yeah, Summer
you
Game
think they're
Fest.
gonna release? You think they're gonna release a game this summer that they haven't shown any gameplay from?
Well, no,
That's
not
from one of the-
release. Is that when it comes out? Is this
Oh.
summer? I'm saying we'll see it at like Summer Game Fest, and then it'll come out at the end of the year.
I mean, the problem with a game like DA4 is that we know it's undergone multiple changes. So it's like it doesn't matter how long it's been in development because we have no idea how long. Still there?
Yeah, we're good.
We have no idea how long the current iteration has been under development. I mean, for all we know, we could have another 2 years of dev left because they what? Didn't they just change course like a year ago? Remember they were going to do like the whole live service thing, and then they were like, nope, we're trashing all that and redoing it all. So now we're gonna so God only knows when this thing is going to come out.
Yeah.
I mean, we'll have to see.
Yeah, we will. We will indeed. What else?
Oh, thank you. Tiggy90 says Steam page says full reveal summer 2024. So that's probably where you got that.
There you go. Yeah.
Nailed it.
That'll happen. We could talk
Thank you.
Embracer real quick. Gearbox Entertainment is out. Take-Two Interactive purchased it. 460 million.
That's one of the few we knew was going to happen.
Yeah.
It took longer. It took longer than we thought, actually. And the price was lower than I think a lot of people were thinking, which is also surprising. But they also piecemealed the company, which was not expected either. So like there's like a lot of little curveballs with that.
Yeah, who keeps movie rights? Because they got a movie coming out.
They kept the Borderland IP rights.
Okay, I would assume that.
So I would
includes
assume that the movie is the IP.
that. Yeah, yeah.
Also, the head honcho at Borderlands,
Randy Pitchford.
big into the movie.
Mr. Magic
He apparently
Man.
has, he's been doing a lot of the movie stuff. So it would be very surprising if they were to remove him.
Yeah. So the retained assets, they kept Gearbox Publishing San Francisco, Cryptic Studios, including MMO titles Neverwinter Online and Star Trek Online,
Oh,
Lost Boys Interactive,
interesting.
and Captured Dimensions. I don't know any of this.
Zucate just mentioned, and this went under my radar, Take-Two was actually still on the Gearbox board when Embracer bought them. So it didn't really change much that they went back.
It was just, okay.
Interesting. So, I mean, it could just be that they're just shuffling, companies under ownership names and maybe everything's just going to keep going along.
Yeah. That broke
They bought Gearbox for $1.4 billion.
Yes, they bought them for a lot more than what they divested. them for.
You're saying when they bought them a long time ago.
Yeah, the initial buy from
Embracer,
Embracer.
So they essentially lost $1 billion on that. Outside of the money they earned while they had them, of course.
They released Tiny Tina under the Embracer flag, so
I don't think Tiny Tina made $1 billion.
yeah, I don't think that made $1 billion either. But
I don't think Tiny Tina. I mean, don't get me wrong, it was good. It was good.
it made some money.
But
Yeah.
I don't think it made $1 billion.
Correct.
Drools in Hoyoverse.
Oh man. What else was there? There was something else that I was actually very excited to talk about.
Somebody in chat said there was CDPR news.
There
haven't
was
heard
some
any of that.
CDPR stuff. The stuff I wanted to bring up, I'll look up the CDPR news, was the Judas first details came out. Ken Levine's new game.
I am so sad about that.
Why are you sad? What are you sad about?
Because I wanted to talk to Ken.
Oh, you wanted to be part of the press
I
tour.
wanted to be
Okay.
part of it.
I thought you were sad about what came out.
Oh,
Of the
no.
press tour.
No. Hey, everything Judas is shaping up to be is pretty much exactly like it's Ken's new BioShock. And I think that's fine. Not only is it Ken's new BioShock though, but for those that followed Ken Levine's career, Ken Levine has kind of had this interesting, I don't want to say troubled career, but he's dealt with a lot of challenges, especially from like the leadership style that he does. And he's done a lot of like post-mortems on what's worked and hasn't worked. He actually went into he kind of, I don't want to say left gaming, but he started doing like actual talks and stuff on narrative structure. That's where this whole narrative Legos came together for Judas and stuff like that. Like that's what he's been up to for the last decade.
Yeah.
But this is basically what we're seeing in Judas is all the mechanics and stuff he's been working on last decade, like in a game, like in implementation, which is going to be super interesting because if these narrative Legos work like he's saying, and if they actually deliver the experiences that they're saying they're going to, this is going to be a big leap forward for iterative storytelling, iterative and progressional storytelling.
Right.
Some very, very cool stuff being done in that.
Mm-hmm.
Again, if it works.
If it works, yeah. The
works.
big promise. I think there's some discussion that like the stuff that they previewed is spoilery, but my understanding is that it's like the very beginning of the game, the story gets introduced to you, so it's not super spoilery. But
I haven't seen it yet.
Okay, well, the way that we can talk about it without spoilering is that essentially they're saying that no playthrough will be the same because of the choices that you make. So if you do one thing to one faction and help said faction, then that faction will have the other factions attacking it. But there's nothing that pulls you to that faction apart from the player just going that way. So you've heard that a ton of times before, but I think that it's like open enough that the player can decide, you know, who they want to help in almost every single circumstance.
And real quick, no chat. There's no new Lego game. Okay, that was a term.
Lego narrative is the buzzword that they're using for this.
The buzzword, the premise behind the system, and I don't know, like this is going back from what Ken was talking about years ago. I think they're going for this in Judas, but the idea for the system was essentially that you would have like contained, really interesting story bits that had multiple ways to get to them and multiple ways they could go. And the idea is that these narrative Legos you could build together through player experience and deliver an interesting, really cool procedural story that would have all the feel of a hand-touched, hand-stitched story because of how quality the Legos connect, but would be its own story per player. So the idea is basically like this has been tried a bunch of times in games before, but just never done properly to where it actually feels like a good story. Ken is saying that they've kind of figured that out. And Judas is what it's gonna. And Judas is like, this is it in form. So hopefully it'll work. Yeah, I mean it's a super cool idea. And then like if it actually worked, it'd be phenomenal. But like the world hasn't really ever seen a really working version of it.
Yep. I love the setting too. The fact that it's like space and kind of how all that.
Very Prey.
Yeah, how all that set up. It seems like it'll be cool. And kind of the opening scene in the preview, they talk about what the opening scene is, and that sounds really cool too. So, if you're at all curious for like, I guess some slight spoilers, you can go check that stuff out. But otherwise, just know that it does seem like it's going to be a fun thing. I think at this point, for anyone that's played the other BioShock games, could put out anything, and everyone would probably be like, "Yep, go to play that."
Yeah, well, I mean, yeah, we all would. He could just put out a new game and call it something Shock.
Yeah, and we'd be like, "Oh, let's go."
So that's cool. So Nardab said, I have no idea how you can stack together different narrative parts without breaking the overall plot. That's the thing. So the idea, for instance, I was talking to somebody about like how would this work functionally. And the idea, for instance, is that in their whatever system they have, each narrative block would have all sorts of indicators that go with them. And like you'd have to have a certain block come into that narrative. You'd have to have a certain block leave that narrative. There's also like interesting things where it's like if you put a certain block at the end of the story, well, that block being there, or the fact that they know it's going to be there, would mean that another block would have to be present at the beginning to then lay the groundwork for that block meaning something. So it's not necessarily like single instances of a story connecting. It's more of the whole story being able to methodically and procedurally make itself while still having interesting connections. Like a good way to think about it would be like if there was a Hodor block at the beginning of the game, well, then it would mandate that you discover what Hodor means later in the story. Stuff like that. So it lays the groundwork for like a big, cool, awesome something later by having it be there. And then you wouldn't get that big reveal if you didn't have the initial block. So, if you make hundreds of those blocks, that could be a badass story. If they all worked and connected and it all functioned, like that could be amazing.
You know what's funny, Co? And I just played one of these games. you just described like a visual novel dating sim. It's like all of your choices that make before affect your shit later. And if you don't do the thing, you don't get the thing later on.
100%. What's a visual novel? It's a giant narrative. We're literally talking about constructing narratives. Like that makes perfect sense. Yeah. Absolutely.
We'll see if he can do it. Gameplay wise and all that stuff, it's still super early, but shocker, kind of looks a little bit like BioShock.
So, yeah, I mean, it's Ken, dude. It's a Ken game.
It's Ken. Yeah.
I would have been frustrated if he had not delivered another Ken game.
That's
Exactly
it's like,
that's his thing, man.
Yeah,
it's like going to a Tarantino movie and not being bombarded with feet pics.
Yeah. And James in my chat is very apt to point out in all the preview stuff, it's not only narrative stuff. It's also like gameplay, enemies, rooms. It's like everything.
It's whole world designs.
Yeah. So I hope, and everyone hopes that Ken can pull it off. The CD Projekt stuff, Co, that someone in your chat was talking about. There was an interview with stockwatch.pl with the CFO of CD Projekt. And he just came out and said, quote, "We do not see a place for microtransactions in the case of single player games, but we do not rule out that we will use this solution in the future in the case of multiplayer projects." So.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think that's fair.
Yeah. I don't think that that's crazy.
I mean, a lot of multiplayer games are free to play. You got to monetize them somehow. That's.
Yeah. I don't think it's that crazy. But I'm only saying that in a whisper so that I don't get lopped into JP doesn't mind microtransactions.
No, I pointed to my previous tweet, microtransactions bad.
I wonder if that, and I'm actually gonna go check this.
Okay.
I wonder if him saying that affected. Is there a publicly traded company? Aren't they?
Yeah, I think. Yeah. I mean, they were on stockwatch.pl, so maybe.
Yeah. So I wonder if by him saying that publicly, if that affected anything. I wonder if by him saying we will not do microtransactions, if that had any effect on their company. Positive or negative.
Yeah.
I guess it wouldn't be positive. That wouldn't make any sense.
Something. Yeah. Something. RGG Studio is apparently, I only say that because I can't pronounce the actual studio's name still.
Ryuga Gotoku.
Thank you. Are announcing something tomorrow. They've got a YouTube page up and a Nico video page up, which is Japan's YouTube. Might be April Fool's themed though. I don't know what it's gonna be.
Oh, it's going up tomorrow.
It's going up tomorrow, April 1st at 2,000 hours. I can't read Japanese, so I'm still.
How are you gonna do a countdown to an April Fool's joke? It's like that's.
Is it 8 tomorrow? Yeah, I think it is 8 tomorrow.
Yeah, Sir Monstein nailed it. He says, "Trust nothing tomorrow." Yeah, tomorrow is a no news day. Like nothing that happens tomorrow is newsworthy. Knock on wood.
Well, that's already started to happen. We can talk about Palworld's dating sim in just a sec, because they put out some stuff already. What else?
Oh, no.
Enshrouded put out a pretty large update actually, called the Hollow Halls update. They got a bunch of dungeons now in each of the zones. What's that? Zeke, are you going to re-download it? What is that thing?
Oh, he's looking at the dating
I'm going to
sim
look at it. Yeah.
He's doing the dating sim.
I just want more stuff in Enshrouded. I want bigger.
There's more
stuff.
That's what this was. There's more stuff. They also fixed the FPS thing above 60 FPS. And that game looks very different in the best of ways. So that was cool. Trying to see. I think that's kind of it. We can kind of go talk about games. What was the? Let me see the Palworld thing. Let me just pull it up. What's the Palworld thing? It is called Palworld More Than Just Pals, Will you remain friends or fall in love or dismantle and eat them? Okay.
Wait,
Pals-
you can bang your pals now?
Pals take off their clothes, question mark. An adult version will also be released.
About time. God damn. That's all I got to say.
They put out a minute 40 trait. Can I watch this? Can we watch this trailer? Hold on. I don't know what's in it.
Watch this legally?
I think it's very important for the almost, 12,000 people watching between all of us understand Jesus is always watching.
Also, Jesus is a zombie. Okay, let's cover both of those things. Okay. So you gotta
Technically undead. Zombie is a classification
Okay.
fair.
of undead.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fair. Yeah.
Jesus didn't tap in chat, says, yep, true on both.
Yeah.
Heard it from the big man himself, chat.
Yeah. He's so is he more of a lich
no,
then?
Gorkster asking the important question, is Jesus indie?
Okay.
He had a small team of 12, but it's a little bit over.
He had zero
They
funding.
didn't have a lot of money.
You're gonna tell me God counts as one team member. You're gonna really sell me on that right now. What's his budget?
No.
What's his budget?
No. Budget doesn't matter. That's what I'm saying.
Did you even think about who owns the equity of God and what they're telling you?
I think you're looking at this the wrong way, Co.
Am I?
Just
Or
because a developer has the power of God, the power of the Holy Trinity, does not mean they're not independent. They're
a team of three. That's a big team.
That's the whole idea. The three is one.
I can't talk to you if you're not going to listen. I can't discuss this with you if you're not going to listen to what I'm saying.
I'm just telling you, I am who am. That's all I'm saying.
But I'm not who he is.
JP is over here. He's the walrus.
Yeah.
Am
Put
I
that
the
in your
Holy
smoke and
Spirit
pipe it.
in this situation?
No, I think if we were the Holy Trinity, like you would be the Father,
I'd
Toad
be
would
the Father.
Son, and I'd be the Holy Spirit.
I'd be the dog. Who's dog?
Can I be the wizard? I want to be the wizard class.
No, I want to be the little hat.
The little hat.
The hat?
I want to be the thimble.
The thimble? Okay. All right, fair.
Yeah, we're picking Monopoly pieces now.
Yeah, no, I'm getting old. I can't stay you guys move too fast.
Yeah, that went so many directions so quick. I was like having trouble keeping up.
Yeah.
We had so many bases so fast.
That actually gave me a wash of nostalgia because I was in an improv troupe for a long time. And that's like basically how all of our fucking meetings went. It's like, can we get down to business? We went off on a tangent 30 minutes ago.
That's the show, really. Yeah, that's how that goes. We only have 15 minutes left of the shows. I do want to talk about games we've played.
Yes.
Briefly, Dragon's Dogma 2. Co, have you finished it yet? Are you close?
No, I'm like 60 hours in, and it just keeps getting better.
Okay. I can't talk about the end of that game then. I don't want to spoil anything for you.
I'm sorry. I'm going as fast as I can, man.
No. There's no need to apologize. Yeah, I put up a thoughts video on YouTube and was not a fan of the ending of that game. Is all I will say.
Oh.
Yeah.
Did you play DD1?
Yes. Yeah. Loved the ending of DD1. Not so much DD2 for one very in particular reason, but it's spoilers, so I don't want to tell you why.
How freaking interesting.
Yeah.
You know what, JP? I thought that this game was going to end the same way as DD1, so you just spoiled the bejesus out of me. I'm actually excited about this. Just that it's different. It's okay. I'm okay with this. I literally thought it was going to end the same way DD1 did. I mean, it was kind of headed that direction, so I was wondering if it was going to be similar.
If I say anything, I'm in trouble.
We're good. Don't worry about it. We're good. Yeah. Here's the thing. I'm going to be 100% blunt here.
Yeah.
This game doesn't even need a main story for me, dude.
Oh, I'm right there with you, man.
I don't care. Like when I finish the main story in DD2, it will most likely be the kind of thing where it's like, okay, cool. Anyway, next quest. Like, it's not, I've never at any point felt super invested in the main story. It is, for me, I'm playing this game like outward. And I'm loving it. Every second of it.
The reason I do not like it has nothing to do with the story.
Oh. Stop making this more interesting, dude.
I'm only saying that for the sake of discussion, but it's like I'm not going to say anything else.
JP is like, it's going to blow your mind, but you're not going to care. It's going to make you feel things, but you'll be empty. And it's like,
yeah, true. I will definitely try and watch or find the VOD to watch your reaction to everything. So, yeah.
Oh, tell me this. I do have one real question.
Okay.
Does the game end after the main story? Could I run if I want to do like a giant run and I rush the main story?
Yes. Do everything you want to do before you finish the game.
So no, not yes. The game does not continue after the main story.
Correct. Yes, you are correct in that. Yes. Sorry.
Okay. Glad we cleared that up.
I mean, yeah. Do everything you want to do before
you do the main story.
You do the main story.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Now Chad is like, ah! And it's like, no, you know what? Just don't. Don't, nope. Nope.
And it's what I will say is the part that I'm conflicted. It's not heavily swayed, or it's not heavily agreed upon. Like it's kind of halfsies.
Oh my God. I swear if this is some weird ass Starfield situation all over again.
It's halfsies with the community where like some people really like it, some people really don't like it. So yeah, it's a split decision. But we'll talk about when you finish it.
Okay. I let me guess. So the real game begins when you finish the game the first time, right? Goddamn.
I'm not saying yes or no to any of that. I'm simply just moving the show forward.
Thank you.
Now, since you guys probably doesn't even affect you, but like, have they fixed any I'm asking you or Chad, if they fixed any like the performance issues that people were having or anything like that?
So
they put a patch out.
They did put a patch out. They announced that it's not the performance patch, but they did put in the ability to start a new game.
They do have new game now in the main
menu. Thank you so much for your benevolence, Capcom,
yes.
in letting us erase our saved game data. That's
and you know, like I was about to start clapping for that, but I was like, you started a step back. I'm not gonna give you a clap for getting up to the fucking start line because you were already back there. You don't get accolades for this.
Well,
yeah,
accurate.
That was really
accurate.
The best thing there. But anyway, it's in, so that's good. Apparently it works. That's great. They did some minor bug fixing. They did say that there are some big patches coming, so that's good. And because the game needs it performance wise for sure.
Yeah.
But yeah. I think still cruising along.
Cool. And then where are you at? Are you still doing Final Fantasy? I haven't played since we last spoke about it, so I have nothing to add.
I am. I'm currently at Cosmo Canyon and doing all the map completion there before I continue. Got a little bit more to go, and then we go on.
Yeah.
Still loving it. Still enjoying it.
Yeah, I will get back to it eventually at this point. Maybe sooner than I imagine. I bounced off
you're
that.
You're in a po hole, right?
No, I bounced off of PoE pretty quick.
You did?
I had the unfortunate situation where I chose not the wrong build. I chose a build that is not the greatest, I guess is what I will say. Or I'm not enjoying. That's maybe the most... the best way to say it. It's an explosive trap build. Just explosive trap. It's very basic. But yeah, bounced off of it pretty hard. And kind of every league that we play, I get to that point like, really want PoE 2?
And tis the suckiness, man. I'm telling you, it's
I get
a thing.
to it fast.
I'm in the same boat. I'm in the exact same boat.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. So there's not a long discussion on PoE this time around. Like it's
funny because on this exact same vein, people have been asking me a lot with DD2 where they're like, do you recommend that I play DD1 first? And there's this big part of me that's like, No, because it's like DD2 is everything that game does, just better. So it's like, like the climbing is better, the pawn AI is better, the inventory QOL is better, the general QOL is better, like the balance is better. Like, so it's kind of like, I feel like that's what's gonna be like with PoE 2, where it's like, why would you ever play PoE 1 again? It's like everything PoE 1 is and more.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
they're grinding gear games is in a very odd position that, like, I think every single league that they do from this point on till PoE 2's release, people will reach that even faster and bow out of the league. Granted, the diehards are still going to play, and they are still playing right now. But the majority of people that, I had joined the stream and saw the league were just like, I'm good. I'll wait till PoE 2. And that's where
I'm
so
pretty
many
much
people
firmly
are.
in that boat.
Yeah.
I've been pretty public about it. I'm like, yeah, if they want to do sponsor stuff with me, like I'll do that, but I'm pretty much done until PoE.
Yeah.
Like I'm ready for that game.
Yeah.
Looks great. I mean,
Yep. Same. Zeke.
Well, it is nice. Like, isn't it part of it nice? Like that they're still putting out new shit for this game and not like,
Oh
Yeah.
not only that. Well, see the cool thing that GGG is doing is PoE 2. They're not marketing PoE 2 as the PoE 1 replacement. They're marketing it as a different way to play Path of Exile, and it is going to play differently. So the idea, at least that they've been public with and that they're saying, is that PoE 1 will continue with its team, and it will continue development in the direction it's going, and then PoE 2 will have a parallel development, and they will both go off into the future because in their mind they're different enough to cater to different ARPG audiences. So yeah, I mean it's gonna be real interesting, man. Like to see if that works and how advantageous it's gonna be for GGG to do that, and how the teams are gonna be affected, and it's gonna be real interesting to see what happens to PoE 1 when 2 exists and is next to it. Like right now there's a lot of people playing PoE 1 because they can't play PoE 2. So when they're both available, like seeing how the population balances is going to be wild. Because I mean, there's a chance it's going to be like 90-10. And in that case, it's like, do you keep developing PoE 1 if everyone's playing PoE 2?
Right.
That seems a little like, yeah, it's going to be weird. It's going to be weird. What are the major differences? PoE 2 has an active dodge. They're saying going to be significantly slower, less spammy. Like they're going for the word that gets thrown around with this gameplay type is tactical. They're going for a more tactical approach in PoE 2, where PoE 1 is much more about build refining and doing it as fast as possible and stuff like that. They want a more like slower, methodical ARPG experience. It sounds like they're specifically making PoE 2 drastically different from 1 so they can have them exist in parallel.
Yep.
So expect it to be a totally different gem system. Like it's a very different feel. Yeah.
It's pretty significant for sure. Yeah. And they have a lot of gameplay footage. Even as recent as last week, they showed some of the new Ranger gameplay. And it looks awesome. It looks very unlike PoE, but also very PoE at the same time. So they're hitting a good like middle road of that for sure.
And it is important to mention, as chat's pointing out, and this is awesome. They're staggering the releases of the expansions between 1 and 2.
Yeah.
So like you'll get a PoE 1 expansion, you can play the hell out of that for 3 months, and then the PoE 2 expansion drops, you play the hell out of that for 3 months. And so they're going to kind of go back.
Is
and
it
forth.
3 months or 45 days?
Oh, I have no idea.
Yeah, I would think it. Well, I don't know if they've said, but I would suspect it's like 45 days. But
they are going to have 2 full teams working on each game. So
yeah,
that's wild to think that there'd be like major expansions every 6 weeks. Essentially,
if Last Depot can get set up and D4 announced the most recent item changes, so people are pretty positive on that. If all those are firing on the same cylinder, like ARPG fans, every 5 months are just getting hit in the face with a ton of content.
God, less than that.
Yeah.
Especially when they're all going full bore.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
My lord.
It'll
time
be a
for
good time.
RPG fans. Yeah.
It'll be a good time.
Good time.
Everyone loves a good dump on Suicide Squad. They had their new DLC come out on Thursday. Was at 230 people on Steam, 270 people on Steam Friday. It peaked at 3,000 for the Joker Season 1 DLC. And that has kind of dwindled down till 1,500 players right now, 1713 peak. Yeah, how do you think that game makes it out of 2024?
I think the game's already dead. I think it's it died like before it was released.
Yeah.
And this is just the life supported corpse. Like
how many seasons
there's
do
no
they have announced?
there's no possible way that DLC made them money.
Oh, did you, dude, the you know how like the seasonal trailers are always super hype and they have a really cool video showcasing the new character? This animation, in terms of cost, the fucking bare minimum. It was
Wait, what is this? What are we looking at?
Still PNGs with slow pans across the PNGs.
They redfalled it?
And Joker talking over all of them. For like 45 seconds.
Oh my God.
Yeah. No
Wow.
music.
Wow.
By the way, no music. It's just Joker talking. And it's a pretty okay Joker, but yeah. Polygon's got an article, says Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League's new Joker is here, and players aren't laughing. More grind, less story, and little hope for the future. So,
New Joker DLC is here, and let's just say that the Joker's not the only joke in this product.
yeah. Oh, you can write headlines. You got people on board. Anyways, Zeke, you played Alone in the Dark like 2 weeks ago. We never talked about it, so I want to.
Oh, I finished it though. I finished it just last week.
Oh,
Really?
Or just this week? Yeah.
Fantastic.
Hell
Let's discuss it. What'd you think of Alone in the Dark? Is it Alone in the Dark remake? Is that how you?
Just Alone in the Dark.
It's just Alone in the
I
Dark.
think
That's
they-
Yeah,
fine.
it doesn't have a subtitle, but everybody you either add the year 2024
That's
or you
exactly
say
what
remake.
you do.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, interesting story, by the way. Just a quick side note before Zeke begins. Barry has connected to the official like IMDb database for some of our overlays and stuff, and that's how they do every single game. I didn't know that before, but that's exactly how they do it. Whenever in the official back end stuff, they just have the year in parentheses after it. So
Okay.
I didn't know that. But now
Makes
we all
sense.
know. Now
Yeah.
you know.
We're smarter for it. How is it?
Alone in the Dark. Let me see. How can I review this game?
Uh-oh.
How about Alone in the meh? Maybe meh in the dark.
Alone in the snark.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Rough.
It's okay. A couple of really great things about it. One, voice acting is great. Two, it has characters we recognize from different media things. Three, it has nothing, almost absolutely fucking nothing except for character names to do with the first game at all.
Oh.
That's good. That's real good. Like the original 90s title, nothing, almost nothing. It's so far away from that. Good. It doesn't feel like Alone in the Dark at all. Like there's no fixed cameras. I mean, there is a section of fixed cameras, but it's very short.
Okay.
There's no tank controls as far as I know. So it's already, it's just clearly better. Now, this game does feel like, it feels like a mediocre Resident Evil DLC, like a side story from Resident Evil. Like it does, okay, it does a couple things right. See this right here? Like you get quite a few of these lore pieces, right? And they are all voiced. Like the whole thing is read out by a great voice actor with a great accent, depending on if they're from Louisiana or they're from, France or they're from, whatever. They have it's really well voice acted, and the writing is really good. There is a lot of it for how much game there is. I completed the game in 10.5 hours. One run of the game. Now, it's supposedly like the Resident Evil where you do after you finish the game, you do the Leon run next or whatever. You can do that, but by all accounts, and the reason why I didn't do it is by all accounts, it's pretty goddamn similar to the first run. It's just you got a different character and maybe some different like voice lines and shit like that. But the locations and stuff like that don't really change enough. And this is all like from the audience telling me this. I don't know for certain, but first of all, it didn't seem really worth it to go do another run of it just because the game was so like, but like that really just sealed it. It's like, I'm not going to do another fucking run of this then if that's the case. So what I did, and I'm glad I did, and you should do it too if you own the game. I'm definitely not recommending you buy it at fucking $60.
Whew.
God no.
Okay.
That's
pricey.
Yeah. 10 and a half hours for one run. And if you're like me, you won't want to play it again. Not worth it to me.
Okay.
But you be the judge. But if you do own it, I would suggest if you're like, God, I don't want to go through this game again. It's not horrible, but it's like, not super exciting. I looked up the endings, and there's different endings for the different characters, and each character. Yeah. I think there's 5 or 6. I want to say 5 different endings or something you can get, and it's worth that. That was worth it. I was like, I'm glad I looked these up and didn't play it again. I know it happens. Okay, it's got all the pieces. It functions properly. It has a little bit of FPS issue when it comes to like cutscenes and stuff. It chugged a little for me, but that's not the norm. It happens very seldom, but it's not like super exciting story-wise. And you don't feel like really super smart doing like putting pieces of the puzzles together because it's a horror game, so there's puzzles, there's fuses, fuse you got to pick up and put in places and stuff like that because it wouldn't be a horror game without fuses. And there's a little bit of that here and there, but you don't feel like, oh my God, I figured it out. Hooray. You're just like, that was all right. Yeah. It's like, I got one of the word jumbles in the Sunday funnies. I did it. Funnies, but for those of you, it's from newspapers. We used to get our news on paper and we used to get it delivered to our doorstep.
Zeke, we don't have any
This is
Zoomers.
old people talk.
We don't have to do, everyone that watches this show is over 40.
Fair enough. Okay, so I don't need to explain funny papers to you.
Yeah.
They used to do comic strips. Web comics, they used to have those on paper. Anyways, it's just really like there's nothing stand out about it. Like I can't like point to something that goes, that was really good. Like it's all like from like C- to C+.
Okay.
Like some things are slightly better than the others. And some things are slightly not as good as the other things, but there's nothing stand out good or stand out bad. And I don't know if that makes it a better game than if it had stand out bad shit, but I would be more happy to talk about it if it had stand out bad shit.
How's Old Harbor in the game? I see that you played as the not David Harbour, so I'm automatically pissed off at you for making that grave mistake.
Grave mistake.
But I think isn't the female VA also like a famous actor?
Yes. I'm blanking
on her
right
name
now.
too, so that's why. Yeah. Jodie Comer.
There you go.
There you go. Yeah. Were they good? Like, was that? I would assume you still interact with David Harbour at some point during.
Yeah,
the campaign.
there are certain points where the characters meet, like, and they discuss like what they've learned so far and shit like that. Throughout the game, it's just like little vignettes where it's like, "Hey, how you doing? Oh, I'm doing great. Oh, good. What did you discover? Well, I discovered this. Oh, okay. Well, let's split up again and keep discovering shit, and maybe we'll meet up again later."
Okay,
that's basically what it is. But Jodie Comer's been in quite a few things. Free Guy, Last Duel,
Killing Eve is her big hit.
Yeah, Killing Eve, Love to the all that kind of shit.
Yeah.
But yeah, she was great. I mean, the voice acting was actually, I would say, like, if there was one standout thing, the voice acting was a good standout.
They were good.
And
cool.
The writing of it, while not compelling, was well written. I mean, it's picture a history book that it was, you can see it like, man, that's well written. I don't care though about what you're writing about. Fair. It's like the history of trees, and you're like, God, the language you use is great. I love the way you put the sentence together, but I don't give a shit about the history of trees at all. You know,
Fair. Okay.
kind of like that.
All right.
Like you can recognize the skill, but like, man, I wish it was more exciting.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, it's just it's a fairly short game that I would not recommend buying at full fucking price unless you really enjoyed the first run. You want to do another run, because even with another run, it's only and okay, if the first run's 10 hours,
it's
then you're going to cut
time.
off at least 2-3 from the next run.
Yeah.
So it's like less than 20 hours for $60 is, you know, take that for what you will. Like that doesn't seem worth it to me personally, like cost effective, but
Really? $3 an hour?
for $60, I mean, like, listen, man, I'm used to paying like $8 a game, $8 for a game that I play 50 hours of, you know, like my cost thing is different, you know?
Now, if a triple-I game costs $60, Zeke, do you make? I'm sorry, that was a bad
No. If you charge more than $59.99 for an indie game, it makes it double I automatically. It bumps it up one eye.
Oh, and that's great, fantastic. Well, he's gone.
Hold
Thanks,
on,
fuck.
I have a spreadsheet for this.
Yeah, are we gonna get
Yeah.
into the full rule list now of what makes indie, what doesn't? Yeah.
I think you probably there he hey, come on back.
He's back.
Come on back, buddy. We're done talking about it, okay?
He's back.
I don't want to hear another letter as long as I'm here.
The triple I's can't hurt you, Co.
God, what did I just say?
I'm
What
trying
did
to
you say?
reassure you that they can't hurt you. That's Alone in the Dark.
But yeah, like it's nothing special and nothing terrible.
All right.
It's fine. I wanted more excitement, man. I will say they do have one, like when I looked up the endings, they do have they save their like holy shit one thing till the very end of the game. And if you've seen it,
Don't spoil it.
no, I won't. But if you've
Okay.
seen it, you know what I'm talking about. Like there is one moment where like, holy shit.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
But if that's it, in the entire game, there's one of those, you know? In Resident Evil, how many were there? There was quite a few in any of the Resident Evil games, even the bad ones.
Sure. Yeah.
Or
Really?
the bad ones. I really don't think like even the most hated Resident Evils were funner than this game.
Okay. I mean, five
Because
is
they were
still,
exciting.
yeah,
Like they
five-
kept me
5 and 6
entertained.
are
This
still
one
fun.
like bored me a little bit.
Yeah, that's the worst thing a game can do. I mean, we've always said that is be boring. If it's
Yeah.
bad, we can still have fun with it. If it's boring, it's boring. That's how it goes.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like I'll take a bad fun game or funny game, like how bad it is, over a boring, good, well-made game.
Yeah.
Wait a second. Just going back on this, I somebody flew me onto a Twitter from Angry Joe Vargas on YouTube.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. We're going to take a look at the disaster that's a Suicide Squad League, Kill the Justice League Season 1 Joker DLC. One of, if not the biggest live service season fumbles ever. No actual new content. What does that line mean? What's in that Joker DLC?
You get to play as Joker. I don't know.
Just the
That it?
character.
Yeah, I don't.
That's the whole thing.
I didn't
is
play
just-
it.
You play like there's no new levels, that's it. You just get to play as Joker and exactly what
that's-
you did before.
My chat says Joker, and that's it.
Wow! How much is it?
20
What
bucks.
to be like- No way, no possible way. Hold on.
I mean, I'm googling how much is the
Suicide
battle
Squad.
pass. Chat says free to grind for. I don't know what it cost.
Here's the Meet the Joker news update, but I don't. Oh, do you have to buy it in game?
Probably, yeah.
Because I don't see it on Steam.
It's free to unlock by playing old stuff, but $20 to buy it outright. Is what Irksmere just said in my chat. So, yeah.
Danny Trill says, but the grind is insane.
Yeah, I get it. It's none of that sounds like a lie to me. So,
That is amazing.
Yeah.
That is amazing.
It's rough. It's rough.
I wonder if that's a situation of being completely out of touch with the situation, or if we're seeing a literal attempt at getting every single dollar they can out of this IP.
Here, I would think, knowing how that stuff typically goes, and I have no other information to base this off of, I would think that Joker was done when that game was done and released, and that is all they did.
Well, dude, no, it's interesting. So this is another little thing that I learned in my investing journey.
Yeah.
Free to play games with monetization almost always have their entire thing planned out and done of like how they're going to monetize before they actually go live.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
So that's part of like investors will not invest in a game if they don't know that it's going to make money over a year's time. So like all of that stuff is totally like a lot of that stuff is done before the game actually is even launched.
It's how roadmaps come to be, right? Because
exactly.
All that stuff's already done, like in a lot of ways.
But yeah, so like what you just said about Joker, he was probably done months and months before the game even came out. Like the whole yeah.
I don't have much to add, which is good because we only got about 20 minutes left. I played Batro. I did 2 runs. I beat the game on my second run, and I got the black hole card. And then I said, "Fuck you, chat," and I closed the game because that's the best way I could handle it. Winning on my second run, I felt pretty good about that.
Yeah.
All right.
And I guess the black hole card was also rare, so that's why I threw that in there. They told me to rub that in people's face. But I've gone back. I didn't get hooked. I went back that night on my own to see like, all right, let's see if this game grabs me. I didn't get hooked. Maybe it's just because I don't jive with poker or that style of game. I don't know.
I played Batro for like 4-ish hours between all my plane flights, and when I was done with it, I was done with it.
Yeah. Was that out of anger or just you were done?
It was just complete lack of interest.
Okay.
Like I had a few good runs, and then I was just kind of like, I don't like poker this much. There's zero story. There's no characters of any kind. The Batro is 100% game mechanic.
Okay.
The game mechanics are fun and enjoyable, but I'm not a poker guy, so they were fun and enjoyable for a little bit, and then I was done.
Sure. Okay. Makes sense.
No plans to stream it or anything.
Yeah. I played that, and then I talked about it last week after the show, but I went and played for a sponsored stream, Horizon Forbidden West on the PC. Guys, I joked about it going into it, but it's true. That's the best looking game I've ever seen on any platform, if you haven't seen that game, go watch someone play it in 4K or go load it up on your TV in the living room. If you have any 4K capable device, even if it's on your phone, go look at that game in 4K because Jesus Christ, it is. Those PS5 assets came over to the PC and they just look gorgeous. And it's an incredible port by Nixies, which has done a bunch of other ports for PlayStation, all of which are very well done. And I hope that they're doing the Ghost of Tsushima port in May or whenever that is, because that game is also phenomenal looking. And I would love to play that on the PC because it might actually beat out Horizon. But yeah.
What engine is that on again?
The Guerrilla engine. Same engine as Death Stranding.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. It's absolutely like it won't be conveyed in this video, but when you're walking around in like this area at 4K, 240 hertz, just stupid. Oh yeah, the Decima engine. Sorry, not the Guerrilla engine, but Decima engine is the name of it. It's just stupid how good it looks. A lot of that sponsored stream, I didn't even play the game. I just walked around and was like, look at that grass, guys. look.
JP, this is not a nature show, bud. It's a game. There's game in there. Could you game a little?
Guys, look at the fish. And then I found the photo mode, and I was just using the photo mode because you can like put her in. They added I think these were there originally, but you could put her with like a goofy looking face, like doing snow angels on the ground, and it's crazy. It's a gorgeous looking game, and so if you have the means to play it, definitely do. And you have a very high-end PC, definitely do. I never played the DLC. Co, you said the DLC was good, right? Burning Shores?
I enjoyed the DLC.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I might. You have to finish the game in order to get to that? Do you know, Co?
I don't remember. I think it's later game. Maybe you do have to finish it. I don't remember. Chat may have to help me out with that one.
Okay.
I remember really enjoying the DLC, but chat is saying you do have to finish a game. Yep. You need to complete the main story.
That game's pretty lengthy too, if I recall. It's got some.
If you drop the difficulty and just kind of go right through it, it'll probably be okay. It wouldn't take too long.
All right. Yeah.
Game has a lot of very high quality side content.
Yeah. Oh, that game's fucking awesome. I might go through that because we kind of got a little bit of a dip the next.
If I had more time on my schedule, there's no question I would have played that again on PC.
You should at least boot it up, dude. Like, I'm not kidding.
I'm gonna play it eventually.
It's
I love my base playthrough. I when I played it when it came out on PlayStation,
how good it looks.
I remember like at one point stopping. I was gonna do all the side content, and at one point I stopped and was like, I want to wait for PC. So I do want to do like a big run of it at some point. I'm just can't now.
Yeah. Co, anything that you played over the past week we need to jump into? You're kind of doing Dogma into Final Fantasy.
I'm basically doing my big three.
Yeah.
And then sponsored stuff here and there. Checked out some, random other games.
Oh, you did Final Stand Ragnarok as well.
I did. I did.
Let me think about that. Hold on. I went into that game thinking, man, this might be kind of rough. And then I left it thinking like, wow, that was actually, that was fine. How were your thoughts on it? Did you same thing?
Final Stand Ragnarok is kind of interesting because it's made by Unchained Entertainment.
Yeah.
Which are the people that run Camelot Unchained. And Camelot Unchained has been a long, troubled development.
Yeah.
And at one point during it, they basically decided, from what I understand, and this has been, public point of contention, but at one point they had to decide to either like cancel the project or do this side project to essentially try to make money to finish Camelot Unchained. There was some not so great public stuff that happened between the Camelot Unchained devs and the user base, because obviously they weren't super thrilled that they gave them all this money, and then all of a sudden they were going to use the money they gave them to make Camelot Unchained to do this side project. Of course, in the devs' minds, they're just like, we're doing this because we need the money to make Camelot Unchained. So it was just this weird, not great public situation. So I didn't even know that this was that game until like 2 days before the sponsorship. Yeah, I didn't like, because for some reason, like I had heard about all that. I'm a Camelot Unchained backer from a decade ago.
Yeah.
So I knew they did a side project. I knew about all that stuff. I always thought that it was in the Camelot universe. I always thought it was like a Camelot Unchained side game. I didn't realize they went like full Norse with it. So when I found out about it, I was just kind of like, oh, I'll check this out. But this may be a little different. The game. So now to talk about the game, the stream itself was rough because this game has baggage.
Yeah. You mean like
there's a lot of the Camelot Unchained. Yeah. That part was rough and that was unfortunate. The game itself does some cool things, but it's very clear that it has more work to go, which is fine because it's early access. But they made the decision to enter official early access by calling their product 1.0.
Yeah.
Which is just the worst idea.
I was a little confused by that too, yeah.
That is the worst idea. Yeah. Nothing should ever be in early access as a 1.0. That's the whole point of 1.0 is that you're saying this is the version. This is the no more early access. That's done. 1.0 full version. So it's very weird to have. It was very confusing to it's the 1.0, but no, it's early access. No, it still has work to do. No, it is 1.0. Like it was weird.
Yeah.
So it plays like an early access product. It feels like an early access product. And the thing for me that was the quote unquote deal breaker is that the metagame is essentially non-existent in this game. Like there is a level and that unlocks for your character class. And then there's like this light passive system you can do, but there's like there was no ability, there's no inventory of any kind, there's no ability increasing. Like there's nothing to, the gameplay is okay. But in a game where the gameplay is okay like this, you need a really interesting metagame to keep you playing the game.
Yeah.
And that just doesn't exist in this game. There's nothing in this game that leads you to continue playing it. The game itself is fine. I feel kind of the same way about this game as I do South Park Snow Day, where it's like the game itself is fine, but you need more than fine.
Right.
Like South Park
This day and
Snow
age.
Day at least has the South Park humor. This game doesn't really have anything to kind of like give it that extra bit that it needs to have you keep playing it. Now, funny enough, I did end up talking to like the devs and I told them everything I'm telling you now. And
Yeah.
they were like, oh yeah, we totally agree with you. We have like a big metagame plan coming and we have all these other things coming. And I was like, cool. Like maybe I'll revisit it when that stuff is here. But I mean, for now, it's just, fine game. It's just, there's not enough game to really make something I'd want to play.
I agree wholeheartedly.
I sympathize with you trying to explain like meh to people. Like it's hard to explain.
You
that.
have to show
It's like,
meh.
well,
You
I
can't
can't
explain
point it
it.
like that's bad
Yeah.
or that's great. It's just like
yeah, and well,
it's there and it works. Like how better can I put it?
Yeah.
There's also a difference between here is this thing that's bad. There's a difference between that and saying here is a thing that's not done. It's not bad yet, but it's not good. Like we don't know if it's going to be bad yet. Like it's not bad. It's not what's here is not bad. It's just it's not good yet. And we don't know if it's going to be good. So it's like, it's kind of aggressively mid. There we go. It's that term actually might apply here. Right now, this game is aggressively mid. It's not the only thing it is doing that is cool. And I will say, I saw the glimpses of an unexplored genre in this. And that is a third-person auto shooter style game.
Yep.
That is something interesting this game does. There are literally times when you will be looking at 300 plus enemies running down a hillside towards you. And it actually has this feeling of like, holy, that is a huge amount of, like, I'm not used to seeing this many enemies on the screen in any game I'm playing. And then that, like this is a good example right here. Like
now that actually looks kind of fun and cool.
Oh, dude.
It was, yeah.
Hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of enemies all over the place. And that's kind of cool. So what I will say is if they can put in an interesting metagame, if they can tighten up the gameplay, like this could actually be a fun game to play.
Yeah.
Because there's not a lot of games like it. There's not a lot of games like this. And it's kind of an interesting territory to explore, but yeah, it is what it is right now. It's a lot of proof of concept stuff, but not a lot of game. And it needs a lot more game.
Yeah, for me, the big bullet point that was kind of like the attraction to it was that they're planning or trying or doing, I'm not exactly sure at what stage they're at, for 1,000-person like BR game. That was in one of the bullet points.
They are wanting to do a lot of stuff with this. Yeah, this is the foundation of lots of their plans. I think they're still figuring out how to do it. By the way, somebody earlier said, what do you mean by metagame in the context of a game like this? So what I'm talking about in metagame in a game like this, the metagame is the game that happens outside of the gameplay loop. So the metagame for Hades is the fact that you're going back to base and constantly leveling up and ranking up and talking to people. And like, that's the metagame of Hades. The metagame of this game is between rounds, you unlock passives. And there's like 5 or 6 different like slots.
Yeah.
And then as you level, you unlock different passives for those slots. And then you slot in those passives to then make each character. And it is a hero-based game. So there are different characters that you pick. So you level the characters up and then you get some passives. And that's the entire metagame. There is no story, there are no characters, there is no inventory, there is no, like, it's just there's nothing really there outside of the gameplay loop. There's that, like, again, a minor passive system, and some of the passives are pretty good, but I mean, it's just not enough. It's just not enough. It's not enough to keep you doing the loop. There's not exactly a huge amount of levels. So it's clearly designed for repetition.
Sorry.
But there's not the mechanics there to make the repetition be something that you can set long-term goals in. You know?
Yes.
So it's that situation. That's what the metagame.
Yep. Cool.
It doesn't sound like a 1.0. It's not a 1.0. That's the thing. It's not a 1.0.
It's very early.
It is arguably one of the worst versioning snafus I've ever seen. Like this is one, and I talked about this during the sponsored stream. I don't think I've ever seen an early access game release in 1.0. I think this is a first, and I think it's a terrible decision. Like it's like 0.1. It should have been 0.10, not 1.0.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. All right, Zeke, we got 10 minutes. Bunch of people in my chat have asked for one game and one game in particular.
Yep.
You know what I'm talking
and that
about.
game is called Fuck You Witch. And I'm not kidding you. That's the title of the game. It's called Fuck You Witch. And man, this game was it lasted about I played it for about an hour and a half.
Yeah, 90 minutes.
Yeah. About an hour and a half. And it is one of the funniest games that I've funniest experiences in a game that I've ever played, because the basic it's like a horror story, psychological horror kind of a game, but it's interspersed with this fucking like fuck you sense of humor.
Okay.
That is just like, it's so like it clashes in such a great way. It's so funny because it's like it's the story of this witch who is haunting you, and it turns out like it's a metaphor for the main character and his girlfriend breaking up. He's being haunted, blah 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 blah. But
Okay.
the mechanic of the game is, if the witch finds you and starts coming at you, you have to swear at it. And I'm not kidding you. I haven't seen a way to change it. You have to swear at the witch, like curse at it, in a mix of Russian and Kazakh language. Like, so you have to say it and pronounce it well enough that the computer recognizes that
you
you're saying
literally
these
speak
words.
it. You're speaking
Microphone.
The words. Oh, okay.
Yes. It is fucking hilarious because you're sitting there like this fucking witch is coming at you. Oh my God, where did I put my cheat sheet of swears? Oh, I must have thrown it away or something. But you're saying things like you fucking horse dick to this witch in Russian. And like I had to ask, like I looked over the list because they give you the list of all the swears.
Yeah,
And I had
they were
to
up
go
on
through the
screen.
list and ask anybody in chat who understands or speaks Russian or Kazakh to tell me, are any of these like super like offensive? They're like, no, they're just swear words. I'm like, okay, because I don't want to be clipped on live streams fail saying some stupid racist shit because I didn't know what I was saying.
I had no idea that Zeke was racist and homophobic in the same sentence.
Exactly. I didn't want that to happen. So,
Oh man.
thankfully, all of the swears are just swears. Like you call someone a horsecock, or you say like, you ugly ass bitch, like stuff like that. So, but that's what happens. The witch comes at, I don't know if, because it's a very short interaction. Yeah. Okay. If you see the five words around,
That's what I was trying to pull up. Yeah.
yes. Now this is a standing stone, or this is another mechanic. That's like one time in the game, but these statues, you swear at them. So you go up to, if you rewind just a little bit,
Just be a very
scotch.
cathartic game.
There you go. There you go. Oh my God. Perfect. Pause.
Is that a mankini he's wearing
Pause it.
on that thing?
This
Is that Borat?
is Borat's grave and you piss on it. Because the developer is Kazakh and he's like, fuck you. And he pisses on Borat's grave. It is the fucking, this is the humor I'm talking about.
Okay. All right.
And you're peeing on it and you say, very nice. Like that. It's fucking great. God,
It's funny enough.
just
Also,
made me laugh so hard.
apparently, the slogan for Kazakhstan
Yes.
is very nice.
Yeah. National anthem and everything. Yeah. It's in there.
But yeah, so like this. Okay, so in order to break these statues, you have to say these phrases, and thankfully, they are in sort of phonetically. They're sort of phonetically spelled out, so they're not in like Cyrillic or anything like that. So it's let me see if I can say one. Sha viebu nahui. And you say
Dude,
that.
what the hell?
That's messed
I know.
up,
I'm
man.
sorry.
That's
Yeah,
messed up.
I'm sorry. But it's actually not like the phonetic translation. Actually, you actually say it kind of close, even if you just say it phonetically. And they had to tell me what I said. Like they have to like, what did I just say? And someone will say like, oh, you just called her an ugly ass bitch with a penis in her mouth. Like, oh, okay, cool.
I think
cool,
that
cool.
means go fuck yourself. Like literally.
Does it? Yeah. Okay. There you go.
Yeah.
Okay, so
but,
wait,
but one of the things is when the witch is coming at you, this is a different spot. This only happens in one area. You just have to swear at these statues, and then they do something. Like that one turns to metal or something, or they crumble or whatever, and then you get like an item to proceed. Because you're trying to make this witch's brew to like banish the witch. So you're trying to find items to put in the cauldron. But the witch comes at you. You swear at her. You say, "Go fuck yourself" in Russian or Kazakh. And then when you get it right, you do like Doctor Strange. You do this like, and then you just put up a middle finger at her like that. It's fucking great. Like,
of course,
it's just this weird, funny as fuck game. Like that has it's set in this horror environment, but it takes itself 0% seriously, and it's so good. And the dev actually came in the chat. Beshbarmak. Oh, Beshbarmak Games is the name of the dev, and Beshbarmak is like a comfort food for like Russian Kazakh people.
See,
it's like boiled meat and vegetables. Like it's boiled meat and sausage and carrots and potatoes and shit like that. And he's like your main quest, other than banishing the witch, is to make this comfort food for yourself because you and your girlfriend broke up.
Oh.
It's so weird, and I love it.
So at the end of the game, you find out that the witch is actually your ex, and you're in some drug-fueled thing, and she's just trying to get her stuff, and you keep cussing her out to get out of your apartment.
Sort of, yeah. I mean, the story is fun to like. I mean, it's sort of fun to piece together, but it's not. It's by no means the star of the show. The star of the show is like, it's pretty decent, pretty decently graphic or pretty decent graphics, and like cool, like weird, like settings with like different like trippy like you fall down this hole, and in the hole there's just like pictures of your ex like all over this tunnel you fall down and stuff like that. And one of the things, like there's this beating heart on your apartment door that you have to find the key to, like you jab into the heart and unlock the door to get out of your apartment. So there's like cool like Silent Hill, Resident Evil like settings, but all the while you're swearing in Russian, and you're also listening to the voiceover of Beshbarmak Games, the one dev, in his very thick accent. It is a very, very thick Kazakh accent, and it makes it that much better.
Okay.
Because you know the accent, the emphasis on syllables and stuff like that is all over the place, because you're just kind of like, it's not your first language, so you're not saying it like you know people who speak it fluently or whatever. But it's fucking awesome. And the dude came in, and he was a real treat. He was just like, I love this. This is great. Thank you for playing my game.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, there you go. That's fuck you. Go. What'd you lose?
I was looking for a pen. I was gonna make a wrap it up sign for Zeke. I gotta go.
There you go.
Yeah.
No, this is an I game. This is not triple I.
There you go. Oh, it's a triple I game.
Get out.
No, it's not triple I. It's actually even lowercase I would say. It's one dude with a very, very light budget.
Okay.
And he did the best he could.
I'm going to burn the building.
What's your house? That doesn't help. That hurts you. And
also,
Zeke will just
no, I'm going to burn his building.
Oh.
Just do yourself a favor. And even if you don't end up buying the game, which is, I mean, $10 is at $9.99, which is pretty reasonable. It is only an hour and a half, but man, it was so worth it. It was like watching a movie. But if you don't end up buying it or whatever, do yourself a favor and go watch the trailers. There's two trailers on the Steam page. They are fucking hilarious.
All right. That's Fuck You Witch.
Yep.
And that's our show. How did I do that? That's fine. There we go. The chat didn't see that. Only you guys saw that. I've never hit that button. Is that what that does? Oh.
All I see me is a giant full screen green screen.
I didn't know that was
Yeah.
a thing I can do. Yeah, nothing's happening to chat. Cool.
Can you do that to me?
Yep.
Yeah, look at that. Oh, you can.
Weird. Hey, let's do some shout outs because we got to wrap up a little bit early today.
Yep.
Co, you go first so we don't get in
Okay,
trouble
and then
with
I gotta
the wife.
run.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Thank you. Good looking out. All right, everybody. Thank you so much for watching. As always, big thanks to JP and Zeke. I appreciate it. I am Co. Hi. We'll be playing more Dragon's Dogma tonight. Tomorrow is going to start up the big three again. We're going to be doing Dragon's Dogma mornings, Final Fantasy afternoons, and then Yakuza evenings. I do want to get to Alone in the Dark, Horizon Forbidden West, finish up Sons of the Forest and Pacific Drive. We've got a lot of stuff that we are doing. So we'd love to see in the channel over at CoCarnage/Co. And yeah, as always, thanks for watching, and we will see you next week.
Awesome stuff.
And I got to go. On that, have a great one, guys.
We'll see you. Bye.
Hi, go.
Nice. Zeke, do some shout outs.
Beautiful.
What do you got going on?
What up, everybody? My name is Ezekiel the Third. You can find me at /Ezekiel_III on Twitch, Twitter, and YouTube. Ezekiel the Third, all spelled out, on Instagram and TikTok. Thank you to Co and JP for being wonderful co-hosts and fighting with me, even though I won the argument. Well, I'm co-winners with JP because he didn't even participate.
That's right, motherfucker. I always win.
If you want to watch me, I will be right after, well, not right after this today, but like in about 30 minutes, I will be live on twitch.tv/tablestory doing our Blade Runner TTRPG today. And it's a special episode today, so you won't want to miss it. Come on out. It'll be a lot of fun. And if you want to catch me, I broadcast on my own channel at 10 a.m. Pacific most every day except Monday, so I'll be off tomorrow. And coming up this month of April,
Whoa.
the entire month will be my 10th anniversary month. And you may ask, wait, people in your chat have more than 10 years subbed. It's not the anniversary of my sub button. It's the anniversary that I celebrate, which is the day, the month that I quit my job 10 years ago and started doing Twitch full time. That's
Hell
the one
yeah.
I celebrate. So that's what we're doing. 10 years in all of April. We're going to look over we're going to replay a lot of the great games we played. Harvester, My Summer Car. I'm going to have a cooking stream. We're going to do a Fatter Day. We're going to have all kinds of fun in the month of April coming up. So you won't want to miss it. And the first day, April 2nd, which is Tuesday, I will be doing an 100-month appreciation stream of Bully.
Oh.
Yeah, I've never played Bully. So we're going to be playing that on Tuesday. And then the rest of the month is going to be just nostalgia shit. So, hell yeah.
Nice. You'll probably finish Bully. I think you'll want to finish that game.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's good. Bully's a really good
It's
game.
good.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, it's Rockstar Games. Like it's a big deal.
Yeah, that's fair. I didn't even think about that. Yeah.
Yeah. Like Bully's a really good game. I think.
Yeah. Oh, yes. And Bashi, whoever's asking, yes, Bashi, I'll have a day of games I hate.
Oh, boy.
So Bashi will have its own day, which, contrary to popular belief, I like Bashi. I think it's a fun game.
Yeah.
It's just really, really hard. But I will have a day of games I hate, like Getting Over It, that fucking climbing game, that type of shit. Those games will have their day.
Great. Fantastic. I'll do shout outs real quick. My fucking camera's all messed up. After this, I'm going to be jumping into the Stellar Blade demo. I hear it's about an hour and a half, depending on how good or bad you are. But I've heard a lot of really good things, as well as great visuals. So I'll be jumping into that and seeing
Schedule
goes.
breaks.
Yeah. Oh, you'll probably have about 4 breaks in a 30-minute gaming session, I would think. Yeah. So we'll do that as soon as we wrap up here. And then, yeah, April's a little bit slow. We might be doing a Stardew Valley co-op playthrough with me, Bruce, and Gassy Mexican. We both, all 3 of us have never played before. So we'll see if that happens. Probably will. And then in terms of drop frames, we will probably, I have no idea when, and I have no idea how long, and it might be May. So I'm just going to start saying this now. There may be a week where I'm just not here because I'm moving to Austin. So I have to figure out when that is going to happen. As soon as I do, I will let you guys know. But it will probably coincide with a weekend, and it will probably coincide with me tearing down my entire streaming setup and moving. So yeah, we'll figure out exactly when and where all that's going to go down, and we'll be as vocal as possible and let you guys know. But yeah, a big old move, cross-country move for me.
Congrats.
Fuck. I'm not looking forward to that. I'll tell you that.
Well, it's going to be nice for you to be back in old Tejas, isn't it?
I will. We'll begin some Whataburger. I'll get 2 Whataburgers and pour a slush all over me and just take it back. Oh, I didn't. Zeke, now that this motherfucker, he's not here, so we could talk about this.
Okay.
I got to ask you.
Yeah.
How do you feel about eating dinner while taking a bath?
I say if it makes you happy, do it.
Okay.
You ain't hurt nobody.
Okay.
Dude, listen, I'm going to let you in a little secret.
Let's hear it.
When I got together with Katie, I was like, I don't have a dinner table. I eat in bed. Like I bring a tray in bed and I eat there, and she goes, "That's awesome." And I was like, "Really?" And she goes, "Yes, let's do that every night." And I'm like, "Okay." So we do that every night. We bring trays into our bedroom. We watch whatever show we're watching.
I love it.
And we eat
I love
dinner.
it so much. I love it so much.
Right.
I love it so much. It's great. That's great. It's 10 out of 10. Okay. So we're 2 out of 3, and Co's not here, so that means we can vote for him. Drop Frames is bath dinner approved. I was thinking, Zeke, we could all go into business together and call it Tub Grub. And we'll just open up jacuzzis, kind of like how you go into Sonic and drive in, but you get into a jacuzzi and then they bring you food.
Well, I mean, they have
Maybe
those
you'll put a
jacuzzi
movie
limos.
theater. Maybe you put a theater behind it and watch movies.
I'm saying, man, like that would be like when I was at Co's hot tub. I'm
Did you guys
picturing
have
it now.
food?
Like,
Did you eat
it
food?
would be cool to have just like a projector screen, and like, do they make waterproof controllers? Because if so,
I'm sure they do. Yeah. Mad
that'd
Cats
be
has
some
to have
fun
one.
fucking times, man.
That's what I'm saying.
That'd be like fucking MTV Cribs style shit right there.
That's right. I think it's a lot of people are like, that's disgusting. How could you do that? I think it's a show of how happy and content you are if you're having dinner while taking a bath.
I've noticed that people who like get down on you for shit that makes you happy are just mad that they don't have shit that makes them happy.
You could say it, Zeke. I agree with what what was that? Oh, Co just said the pores. That's what he said. They're mostly just the pores that get upset about that. Yeah. Yeah. Makes sense. Makes sense. On that note, we're going to get out of here. I can't believe Co would say that at the end of the show. It's really messed up.
I know. He does anything for money.
I believe it. Yeah. Yeah. Hey, we're out. We'll see you next Sunday. I guess this guy's going to be back. Maybe. Jackass.